Let's do this. Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Mike with HighSchool Creations.
I'm 796 Studios.
And this is The Build.
Episode 4?
Let's say 4. That's what I posted. Creations.
We be creating.
Dude, that comment on the intro was dope. When you pinged me that, I was like, I like that a lot.
Dude, I got to tell you a quick story about that. So, in my brain, in like my memory, right? My reality. Also, let us know if this audio is good. We were doing some audio checks in the back, but I've been saying that shit for years, right? And the previous statement is the worst feeling is wanting something that doesn't exist, and what you want doesn't exist. So I made it, right? And I was telling Kev about the quote, and Kev goes, "Yeah, that's Super 7's motto." I'm like, "Fuck, is it?
Is it?"
I'm like, "Shit, it is." I ripped off a Ziggy.
Oh well, it wasn't me, guys. It was this guy. Hey, it works. It's a great quote. I mean, that's what quotes are for, right?
Yeah.
Just to quote them. So, anyway, great episode tonight. Again, this is episode 4. We missed January. You know, and the schedule is a little weird, being once a month. I think we're going to try to fix that, hopefully. Again, I feel like my audio is off, but if it, 2 subjects, audio and what we're doing tonight. Episode 4, creations. Focus tonight is 3D sculpting, 3D printing. If I read the notes right, that's what we're talking about tonight. So I prepared some stuff. I know you did too.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead, you can take it.
It's my daughter.
You probably should take it.
Click.
All right. Before we go too much further, let's show some love to the chat. Bearded Builds in the house, our moderator tonight. Let's go, baby. Let's go. What's up, Bearded? Yo, that sign that Bearded made for Matthew Toy. Happy belated birthday, by the way, to Matthew Toy, and thank you for the intro, Matthew. Happy birthday. But that sign, Bearded, just continues to kill it with the signs. What's up, Kev? What it do? Dark G, what's going on? Yee. There is a poll. Check it out. Let us. I can't see it on StreamYard, so I got to go over to YouTube. Oh man, it's neck and neck for focus on creations or nah, yo. Open up something. I do have something tonight, so I will tease you guys with it. I wanted to save this for the next enabler. Oh, go ahead.
Now let's open it up because I got something to open too.
I picked up. Well, not picked up. I pre-ordered this, and it finally came in. The Tyrannosaur Zord, the T-Rex Zord for Power Rangers. These look really awesome. It's a very big box, guys. I'm not a big guy, but it's bigger than my head, so it's gonna be big.
You got a big head though, so it's good.
A big head. Yeah. All right. Well, for those that may be new to the channel, again, I am HighSchool Creations, a diorama maker or tinkerer of all sorts of things. I'm most active over on Instagram, but also do lives here on YouTube. Me and Mario started this podcast a couple months ago called The Build to take what we typically do like every week. We call each other and talk about dioramas and stuff, and decided to bring that out for you guys to see the behind the scenes, but also to talk to you guys through the live chat. So if you guys are new, make sure you comment in the live chat, ask questions. We're here to answer and engage with you guys. But yeah, again, I'm HighSchool Creations, and Mario, why don't you tell them about yourself?
Yo, I'm 796 Studios. I make cool stuff. I guess it started off as a dio builder, dabbled in photography. Now I'm just really big into 3D printing, and we'll get into this later, but 3D sculpting. So
That's something new.
yeah, it is, and it's intimidating shit, man.
Yeah. You want to jump into that, or do you want to plug some stuff first?
No, I mean, I plugged everything. I mean, I'm not really doing anything on IG. I'm kind of just enjoying like getting, I was talking to Kevin, I was getting through my backlog. So I just been building some model kits lately and messing around with the 3D printer and ZBrush lately. Dude, this whole 3D printing kick, and I remember exactly when it started. It was freaking Machu Toy. He had showed me a he had painted up some head sculpts. I think he got them from Henrock, a Captain America head sculpt. And I was like, oh damn, I should start painting again, right? So we hopped on a live stream, or it was just us on was it StreamYards or IG Live? I don't know. And we were just doing a paint session, and that sparked me looking into or printing again, and then looking into like new printers, specifically 8K printers. Then I bought a new one. Then I started looking into like refining my supports, figured that shit out pretty quick, which was, you know, encouraging. And I'm like, damn, maybe I could do more. And now somehow I have ZBrush, the perpetual license, which is not cheap.
No.
Yeah.
That's big boy status.
Yeah. So I in the course of maybe a month and a half, I bought that Anycubic M3 Premium, the Anycubic Wash and Cure 2.0, a shit ton of resin, ZBrush, and a Huion Canvas Pro 16, which is a drawing tablet.
Jeez.
I know, man.
Along the way, though, you've gotten some hella points for me.
Yeah. So
those points?
I think, was I asking you about the Mono X? And then I was just like, yo, which one should I get? You know, I want a printer with a pretty big build plate, because I started printing, or I was looking into printing the body kit for the Porsche, right? And on my Mono, like, you can only fit so much stuff. And I wasn't really thinking about the quality until I started doing some research, like, holy shit, there's 8K printers out, there's DLP printers out. So you and I were going back and forth, and I think you had the idea to prototype Wall XD in-house. I'm like, you're probably going to need this then. And then I sent you a link to the Frozen Mega 8K, which you pulled the trigger on.
Right. Yeah. You know, I remember when was it last year, the year before, they revealed it, and it was like, you know, the pre-order was, you know, much lower than what the MSRP is. But I wanted to jump in then, because you could get two for the same price as one almost, and I didn't. But yeah, it was, dude.
Was it pre-order, or was it like a Kickstarter type thing, crowdfunding?
Maybe it was a I can't. It was Frozen, so I can't see it was a Kickstarter. But
Okay.
Todd did it with McFarlane Toys, so maybe, I don't know. I know it was a pre-order though, and you could get two for almost the same price as one now. And I didn't jump in, but I remember talking to Dante about it, and I think he was trying to print some vehicles or something. I was like, dude, this thing is huge. But
he was trying to print a Batman Beyond mobile.
That's funny. But I didn't have a legit reason, right? When I buy something that big, I need to have a good reason to do it. And the prototyping, I talked to a buddy who is in the industry about Wall XD specifically, and whether or not, you know, I should, you know, outsource prototyping, because it was ridiculous to do that, right? It's like 600 on the cheap side and close to 1,200 per unit, you know, on the high side, and I needed multiple units. It only made sense at that point, like, to buy and invest in a machine that I could use long term. So those are well-earned points, by the way.
Yeah, and not only that, dude, like, one, it'll save you time from going and waiting to get it prototype. But then when the new ideas start rolling around, boom, right then and there.
Exactly.
You know, you could test a lot of stuff out. It's and it falls into the topic, man. It's just, I don't want to say the power you have to just create shit in-house is, man, there's nothing to compare, you know. Having a, like, let's say you really wanted a figure, you got to wait for the pre-order, you got to wait for that shit to convert. Sometimes you might be waiting like 3+ years, you know. Nowadays, you have an idea, if you have the skill set, which again, I'm trying to learn that, right? Yeah, fuck Jetfire, I don't give a shit. Like, now you can create it, like you can take it from a concept, a concept, to a physical thing that you can hold. Dude, we're in the future, man. And the quality of the shit is amazing, dude. I mean, I was looking at, and you're gonna show that off, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was like, dude, it's like factory fresh, you know. So
It's crazy because, you know, talking about the piece, and we'll get into it, but 8K, even though this isn't like a highly detailed miniature, right? You can still see the crispness, whatever.
it was like Christmas.
Christmas.
You can see the Christmas on this shit.
This, I mean, it almost looks like it was injected molded. It is that kind of quality. Hardly any lines. Partially the reason why it took 50+ hours to print, but you know, it's nice. And when we get to that, I'll show it off, guys. You see what I mean? But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude. And then like, how did you feel knowing like you have this prototype? You're making the prototype. You don't have to rely on anybody.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, okay, at this point I've had all these, you know, digital versions, right? I have made the, you know, the actual physical copy out of foam, painted that, done a bunch of those. Had the, you know, the 3D version of it for a while. I've had all these renders. I've been sharing videos, but having it in hand, feeling the weight, feeling the detail of how it's actually going to look like from the factory is totally different. And dude, it's so exciting to have it in hand and actually be able to functionally test things. Like, I don't know how anybody does this without a copy or a prototype going in. I'm pretty sure most people do, but if you're going to do it, you got to have a prototype, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you do. I think we've learned that for the past year, dude. But I was also thinking, like, that's probably when you had that shit in your hand, it's probably the moment you're like, this shit's real now. Like, you're so close to the finish line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a year and whatever, 2 years of thinking of this, it's like, holy shit, I'm actually holding it now. So, son of a bitch, I want that feeling.
We can share it. I'll send you one. I mean, you know, for a fact, you're the person I talked to about this the whole time. This was the plan. I guess I can go ahead and show this off. We're talking about teasing people. So
that's so dope, dude. That's so dope. Hello.
Doesn't it look like a factory made piece? Like, it is so clean. So this is the untextured version, guys. So it's gonna look very flat. But what's cool is, like, so for the injection molding, I'm trying to keep the cost low, right? And so what I did was came up with this panning idea to reduce the footprint, because there won't be a backside, at least, you know, on this particular XD line. So this was the part I really wanted to see, because I want to see how heavy it's going to be, the thickness. You know, playing in digital space, like, you understand your measurements, but until you have it in hand, not exactly sure how it's going to feel. And it is so sturdy. Oh, come on. But it's so clean. Lines are so clean.
Dude, that looks good, man.
And I got a lot of stuff to show off. I have other parts I've been running through. I have some of the what I'm calling tabgons ready to go. I can show you how those fit. I have the wood plates for the windows. If you guys don't recall from the other models, this goes right behind there. Again, these are all just gray. They're not painted up. But, you know, it's come a long way since, you know, the original miniature that this is based on.
That's cool. Dude, you got to frame all of these prototypes, man.
Oh, you know that I have one already. This is the original, right? This is,
yeah.
That's where it started. So yeah, it's cool to be here, but I'm ready to. I'm printing out the other pieces still for the base, and then the other tab gone, and I'm really looking forward to be able to connect 2, 3 of those, both wide and tall, and just show that off. So super excited. I think some of the questions may be around what are those light gray colors? Bricks?
Are you gonna talk about that?
Can you see that? I don't know. Should
Oh
we
yeah.
save that to the end? Should we just talk about
Yeah.
3D printing and save that?
Yeah,
to
let's
the
say
end?
that to the end because this whole thing, dude, that didn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? And to get to this, it requires like a lot of work, a lot of research, and a lot of failures, man. Like, fuck, I'll tell you, like, this, Mike. I got this new resin, this high precision M70 from Resi One, and like, I called Mike. I'm like, yo, I'm doing really good with like the settings that I have for my Soraya Tech. Should I just run this 14-hour print on this new resin? Just let it go? And he's like, I don't think so. He's like, you should do some test prints. I'm like, okay, cool. And thank God I did. It took me 3 tries just to get something to stick to the build plate, to print those calibration test files. And 3 times took like a day and a half, and now I got like the final test print over there. And it comes with the territory. You gotta fucking grind it out to get to this part. That the creation thing is just, it's all the years and all the hours spent of you not only absorbing information but trying shit and failing, and most importantly spitballing ideas with your homie to see like, oh, that's a good idea or that's a stupid idea, but you should still try it and see if it works.
I'll tell you a secret. Why I told you to test it was because 4 days ago I was setting up the Mega 8, and I already had the file already supported, and I was like, I'm just jumping into this.
Yeah.
25 hours later, I go to check the print and there's nothing there. And so, I told you about this. So I get on the phone I didn't buy it directly from Frozen. I bought it from a third-party seller. So I get on the phone with them, and support is a little lacking. In the end, I'm super happy with support. I bought it from Ultimate 3D Printing. Guys, go check them out. They got a bunch of good products. They do free shipping. So back and forth with them. And so I ended up taking the front of the panel off because some connections may have gotten loose. What we have found was the LCD wasn't letting light through. So UV was coming through, but the LCD wouldn't light up. So on a brand new printer, I had to take the front off. I was already very reluctant to do that. However, shipping it back and waiting for a new one would have cost me more weeks on prints that are taking 30 plus hours. So I didn't have enough time to do that. So all the plugs they had me check were seated properly. However, I looked at the LCD, and for some reason the cloud wasn't shut. So I took that apart, put it in, and I ran an exposure test, and bam, we had light. And I was like, okay, I'm running a test print now, much smaller test print to make sure it works.
Yeah,
and
dude.
So that's why I said test.
And it did feel very familiar when I was asking you that shit the other day. I'm like, should I just go for it? And you're like, I don't know. But dude, like, you and I are like that. We're like, fuck it, let's just jump in. We're just gonna go. We're pretty familiar. Let's go for it, right? Because I think in our head, it's like, we'll probably save a couple hours of testing if we just go for it, or whatever the case is, right? Let's get it on the first try. And it's you never get it on the first try. You never get it on the first try, And but Mike, we forgot to mention we did our own troubleshooting, and that's part of the process too, right? Now you simply could have been like, fuck this, it's not working. I'm sending this shit back. Or like, yo, should I just get a refund? Remember? We were like,
yeah. I was considering refund and paying for prototypes.
Yeah. And like, nah, dude, let's figure it out. We broke it down. We're like, all right, we know for a fact if resin is getting, and we eliminated the fact, like, we know that resin works because Mike used it on his other print, but we we're like, resin cures when it's exposed to light. Nothing was curing. There was nothing on the FEP. There was nothing on the build plate. Okay. So now we know it's got to be something with the light. And I think that you know, like we were thinking like it could be low voltage or whatever. And then
We
Mike's
tried
like,
a bunch of things. Yeah.
I know, yeah. He's like, I think the LCD is not plugged in. And boom,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
And that, you know, troubleshooting process, what, took a day, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah. I think by the next day, uh, they had told me to take the plate off. I didn't want to void the warranty. You said the same thing. Waited
Yeah.
for them to tell me to. And when they did, that's when I inspected everything. But you know, it was 8 screws, 8 tiny screws to take that front off, and it slides off.
Was it easy to replace or to plug in?
It was super easy.
It was so easy to, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I
was like, why
realized,
did I hesitate? I should have just did this. I
well,
expected some
because
kind
the,
of void tape or something on there.
well, this shit is expensive, man.
That's true.
Like if it was like the Mono X, like, yeah, screw it, whatever. But this thing is, you know, this is big time. And like the time involved of like shipping and like, you know, like whatever. But I did realize the troubleshooting and the fix took a lot less than the print time on that prototype. So
Yeah. It's a bit ridiculous. But I got to cut down. Could talk about that too. So, specifically, I don't know how we want to roll into the conversation of sculpting and 3D printing, but I think a lot of it is troubleshooting and figuring out on your own. And one of the things obviously was like this long print time, and been thinking like, how do we get it down? And
yeah.
I guess you were testing some new resin and happened just to ask about layer height.
Mhm.
And then I realized mine was like 0.05 as default. I think you were doing like 0.02 or something like that,
Mhm.
which would have added even more time, right? So that's each layer height, right? So that's the visible lines I believe you can see.
Mhm.
So I end up changing it to 0.09 because on these prototypes, what really matters is having it in hand and that the connections fit. I don't need it to be super detailed. I don't need to run it like super fine. It's not a miniature fine, sculpture. It's just a
Yeah.
prototype. So I was able to cut the time down to 33 hours for 4 parts. So
Right.
that's the base,
Yeah,
the wall, and the tab guns.
at this point, you don't need it to be super crispy. You're testing the functionality and the concept. In fact, I've been watching a lot of ZBrush tutorial. One of these sculptors for Sideshow was saying, like, so his reason is he creates efficiencies, right? So he'll focus more energy on like the focal point of like the bust or the figure he's working on, and like neglect like the back or whatever, right? Or know what he knows what this product is going to be for, what the client needs it for. If this is just a prototype, he's going to send in like a rough sketch. But if it's like the final thing that's going to go to like tooling, then he's going to add the finer details. And I'm like, yeah, Mike, you don't need it at 0.5. And 0.02 would be overkill, you know? But it
Yeah, if
is
I'm
also
doing some kind of high detail statue or something, that's a different story, right?
right,
But
right,
this prototype doesn't need it.
right. It is nice to have it at 0.05 though, because that shit looks crispy.
Yeah, I want to see the difference. You know, there obviously be noticeable difference. I would assume there will be because I can see
Yeah.
lines.
It
But
it it might mess with like the edges, especially in the tabs, but I don't know. I've never seen anybody print anything at I mean, that's kind of like FDM territory when you're going like, you know, zero point 0.9 or 1 millimeter. You know what I mean?
we'll see. That's the beauty of it. I have the option to change it back and reprint.
Yeah, exactly. You can mess around with it.
Right.
So, but I did want to touch on that. So when we were talking about like the settings and cutting the print time in half, part of the creation process is creating efficiencies, right? I remember like just to print the Rude Boy head sculpts was like 8 hours, right? 8 hours at 0.02 layer height. And I was looking at the settings, understanding the settings, right? There's a lift and a retract time on the plate. It goes up and down. And on those settings, it was so slow. And I'm like, why does it have to go up and down that slow? I'm like, I'm gonna try messing with these settings and bumping the shit up, just go up and down quick, right? It shaved off like 2 seconds per layer. So it cut my shit down in half, right? It's just figuring shit out and like and trying shit. If it and like to your point, dude, if it fails or if it looks like shit, guess what? I can make another one.
Right.
Just like with the dios. I don't like
Right.
the way these bricks look. I'm gonna break the shit. I'll just make another one.
Right.
People get pissed. And I'm like, what? What I lose? 16
I
hours?
I mean, I've gotten pretty upset when you sent me some photos of some diodes that you put in the trash can. I was like, what the hell? But that's the creator's choice.
Yeah, but it's also a sense of freedom too. I think a lot of people, if you have that scarcity mindset, like, oh man, I can't mess this one up, right? Like, like when I buy head sculpts, unpainted head sculpts from like eBay, from like China or something, and it takes like 4 weeks to get here, and I only ordered one. I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to mess this one up, and then it messes with me, then I can't, do a good job. But if you have like 10 of them, you're like, all right, fuck, I'll try whatever. It sucks, I'll paint the next one. So again, it's a sense of freedom to be able to just like, yeah, I could just whip another one up.
Yeah, and also, going back to the quote,
Yeah.
it's the freedom to, you know, make something, right? You can't find exactly what you want and then be able to make it. And especially in the digital world now, you could take idea, concept to prototype in less than a day with some of
Yeah,
these
man,
tools.
that's pretty wild, dude. There's like, it's, man, just looking at some of the stuff that you can create now, it's getting me excited again, right? You know, I remember last year I tried ZBrush, like the light version, and it scared the shit out of me. I didn't even know how to like navigate the project window. I didn't even know how to like resize it. It was so foreign. The interface is not intuitive at all, right? And I was like, forget that. I switched to Blender, and it wasn't the same. I mean, it was a little bit better. And I'm like, this sucks. I'm gonna go back to Tinkercad, which is not. I mean, it's basic stuff, but this time around, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna eat that frog. I'm gonna just buckle down, and the only thing I'm gonna learn is how to navigate through the space. Right? It's like that first step, at least for me, dude. I no joke. That's all I've been learning for the past week, and that anxiety is gone. I'm like, hell yeah, now I can get into it. I'm actually sculpting now. It looks like shit, but I'm like, at least I know I know where to go, kind of, you know?
That's how you learn, though, right? I mean,
Right.
now figuring out, the platform or the application is one thing, right? You got to go figure that out. Probably ask questions. A lot of times it's not intuitive, but once you get going, I mean, that's half the fun is experimenting, right? And
Mhm.
figuring it out. I still use
Right.
Tinkercad, very rarely, but that's where I started, right? With a lot of my prints that I still have available and still use, going back to some really rudimentary type stuff, right? It's not for organic, sculpting by no means. That's like Blender or ZBrush. But if you're new and you want to get into modeling, it's such an easy tool to figure out.
Oh yeah.
It's a web-based application. You can source from other things. So if you want to pick up from where somebody's left off or take someone's work and cheeseburger it, you can do that as long as they're willing to do that. But yeah, it's a cool tool, and I've developed and created some cool stuff. But again, it's
Mhm.
very rudimentary. I think it's great for like FDM printing.
Oh yeah.
Probably not great for resin printing. I'm not sure. I'm not
No,
experimented with it. But
yeah, I mean, it's fine for anything. And yeah, I wasn't talking shit about Tinkercad. It's always gonna have a place in my heart because I remember when I first started messing with Tinkercad, again, I had the same like, oh my god, what do I do here? Like, how does this work? And like the stuff I was creating was super blocky, and I couldn't like just figure out how to cut a curve on like a box or something was tough. But then the more you mess around with it, the more comfortable you get. You could pick up tricks. Dude, I remember I created man, I did this cyberpunk bike build shit maybe a year or 2 years ago, and the hubcaps were 3D printed parts, right? So I found a file um, on Thingiverse, and it was a kit, like an upgrade kit for like a Transformers figure. And I took that and then I just kind of remixed it in Tinkercad because that was the only thing that I had available at the time, and it worked. You know, I've made some Cyberpunk AC units. I've made some vending machines in Tinkercad and a shit ton of windows. It's perfect for Windows, man. You know, so Tinkercad's great.
Yeah, I was going to show off real quick, my account, kind of some of the things. And oh shit, there's a big teaser right there. Hopefully, no one catches that. But pipes, windows, these things are perfect for those really the geometry objects like satellites, all sorts of stuff. I hope you guys can see this, but like lights, and I've got stuff. I think I first started using this when I was doing the X Mansion. I've even demoed like I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is how I demoed to Elvin, A&R, Astonishing News and Reviews, kind of what we originally concept the Epic City diorama as, and it's obviously much smaller, but I've used Tinkercad for several things, and it's a very cool tool. If you guys are just getting into 3D modeling, this is a great program to learn on, and it's free. I mean, you can't beat free.
Yeah, it's really good. Dude, now that you have your your Frozen Mega 8K, are you still going to keep your FDM printer?
I'm glad you asked that because it's kind of like a side hustle or a side piece. So while it is doing the heavy work, which is shocking to say, the Mono X, the smaller printer. I remember when this thing was big to us.
Mm-hmm.
The smaller printer is handling the lighter work. And what I mean by lighter work is things like these, right? These will fit on the bed. These are the tabgons, the sidewalk tabgons that hide the cover. The plates, because I can't be printing everything on the Mega 8K at one time. And we'll talk about these later, but these itty bitty things as well. So it's still great to do that. If it fits on the bed and something else it is nice to have multiple printers. The unfortunate thing is like I have 4 other FDM printers and one very large FDM, and they get no love. No
right. That's what I'm saying. What are you going to do with the FDM? Are they, because like,
I've honestly considered like asking because Pancho, I think, is printing
the Dusties and stuff.
Yeah, the Dusties. I don't know if he's got room for them, but had considered just unloading those on him or 1 or 2 of the Enders. I got 3 Ender 3s and the Ender 3 Max, which is the big boy, because I don't use them right now. But you never know. There might be a reason. I still do a lot of windows on FDM because I don't mind the lines on windows. But we'll see. I mean, with this Frozen, dude, the Mega 8K, I could print like 20 or something windows. Like the bed's so big. Like if I go to print like an AC unit or something, I could probably print about 15 of these. So why would I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's probably, my printer's not as big as yours, right?
Are we measuring now? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's always about measuring. You had the Mega X or the Mono X. I'm like,
I didn't, but there's no way I could print this on anything smaller. I mean, even you, we noticed, we're like, dude, I don't know if it's actually gonna be big enough. Remember that? And then so I hesitated for a week before I bought it because I was like, I don't know if it's gonna work.
Yeah. And then I got the M3 Premium. It wasn't the biggest one. The M3 Plus is, I think, an 11-inch, whatever. But mine is 10 inches. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm the biggest guy on the block now. And then Mike comes in with this freaking, what is yours? 17?
No, it's like 15 and a half on diagonal. And it's still big.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the all-in-one machine, dude. I don't think you would need anything. How is cleaning the plate though, with the holes and everything? Do you get resin caked in there?
So resin, so like your what is it called? What is that first layer called? Why am I blanking on it? Your base layer, what is it called again?
The burning layer.
Yeah.
Oh, the wrap, the burning layers. Yeah.
It does have some. You can see the holes for where it did, go in a little bit with the resin, and then on the top side, resin will seep there and sit there. So when you take it off, there is a lot of resin that runs off. So you got to be careful with that. Plus, this thing is monstrous. I mean, you got to have 2 hands. It's 15 inches long. That's huge. So what I've been doing to clean it, because now you got to clean it, right? You can't just leave the resin and it gets caked. So I take my wife's old pans. I don't know if she's noticed that I've stole them, like
What?
baking pans. They're like, a half-inch thick. I pour alcohol in there and just like slosh it around to get all of it out and then clean it off paper towels.
Dude, you should just get some totes from Target.
Those are coming in.
Okay.
All this is kind of based on experience. And so I thought I could do it one way and then I've
Yeah.
pivoted. And so now, because of this large printer, I have like 30 rolls of paper towels, 100 or 1,000 gram 8K things. I got 3 gallons of alcohol because this thing is so big. It takes
I
so
know,
much
man.
out.
Dude, when I got mine, I noticed the blue shop towels that went
Yeah.
up. Gloves, dude, tons of gloves, and then tons of alcohol. It's a fucking death trap in this place, man. Because all that
My-
shit's right by the stove.
right. My wife, I'm using 99% alcohol, and my wife came out. She's like, "Damn!" I was like, "Yeah, I know." I should
Yo,
put
are
a
you
mask
wearing a
on.
respirator?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And I got a
cool.
fan going.
Okay, yeah, dude. I heard denatured alcohol is good for cleaning too. But I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
alcohol ain't cheap, and it's not easy to get your hands on in large quantities.
Fucking Beard said the meth lab. That's what it feels like sometimes, man.
Dude, I run through now. So, I mean, I did before, but like, you got to keep a couple hundred gloves on because, like,
Yeah.
they're slimy. You don't want to touch something that and contaminate it. So then you got to
Right.
switch gloves again.
Yeah,
Resin
dude.
printing is another level of
Dude,
maintenance.
I did it proper this time, right? So the enclosure, you lift it up, right? It's not like a door, so it's huge. And on my old, yeah, dude, God, this video's gonna get flagged, bro. You gotta use 2 hands. But I remember on the mono, like the lid got all caked up, the knobs to take the vat off got all caked up, the top bolt got all caked up and shit from all the resin on the gloves and stuff. So I installed like one of those suction cup handles on the top of the lid, so I can just up. That's the only place that I'm holding from, just the top of the thing. Pull that sucker off, and then it's always fresh gloves or my clean hands when I'm taking the vat out or taking the plate off the thing.
Yeah.
And because I'm doing that, I'm going through gloves daily. Like Amazon suggested it, like, yo, this is $2 cheaper if you go on like a subscription thing. And we suggest every 3 months you re-up. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm gonna need a re-up every week. So
Damn.
hook it up.
Yeah.
But it's a small price to pay for not only like these quality prints, but like a cleaner workspace. I know we used to like joke around about how I print in the kitchen. I can't, it doesn't fit in the kitchen anymore. So I had to create space. I got rid of like, I had a hobby desk like in my living room. It's a pretty big living room. So now that's where the printers are. And I have like a space heater. I started heating up my resin before I started printing. Night and day, man. I put it in the
You're boiling it like a
no, I
bottle of
just
milk?
put it in the oven.
What? Really?
In the dehydrator.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep in the garage, the shop, whatever we're gonna call it. I keep a heater going. I keep it like 75 to 80. It may be a little too warm, but with it cooler down here, I don't want prints to fail.
Dude, that really does affect your print. Because it's Chicago, so it gets really cold, and I would try and print overnight sometimes and wake up to like a failure. But yeah, the space heater is good. I was actually thinking about getting and I know you know this, a bottle warmer. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Just get a little bottle warmer, put it on like the table, and just put your resin in there. I don't think like the bigger resin bottles would fit in that, but the small 500
Smaller ones might.
Yeah.
The 500 gram.
Yeah. I think I might try that, man. Go to Babies R Us and get that shit. Oh, that doesn't exist.
I mean, they probably need a new market, although the baby business is probably good, but
dude, there's no way, man. Yeah, this doubles as a resin warmer.
we should just start rebranding baby bottle warmers for resin warmers.
Yo,
get okay.
Dude, we're gonna yeah, you'll see that shit on Amazon. That's not a bad idea, dude.
Because
Fuck
I
it,
mean, you
fuck this
also,
shit up.
especially in colder environments, need that for your spray cans and your paint too.
There's got to be like can warmers. There's got to be can warmer.
Yeah, sure. You just have an adjust or a adaptable little thing inside of it to adjust your cup holder. And
Oh, there already are triple sauce warmer. Yeah, there's already shit out there. But it doesn't look like a baby bottle warmer, so we're gonna yeah. Yeah, man.
So you were switching resin types and manufacturers today? You're trying a new resin out?
Yeah, dude. And I was telling you, I don't know why, man. Like the Soraya Tech Fast Navy Gray specifically has worked so well for me. And on the 8K printer, it's insane. I virtually get 0 layer lines, right? Especially if I do some anti-aliasing on it, like if I do smooth surfaces, 0 layer lines. It's nuts. But it's brittle, you know.
Yeah.
And they claim it's ABS like, but nah, man. Like I remember even like on the Rude Boy head sculpt, you drop it from like 5 inches up, his horns are gonna chip, right? And I printed out some Teco Toys figures, right? Printable figures, and it was holding, but in the joints, the resin will dust off if they come into contact. Um, so I wanted to try something new. I tried the Resi One M58 before, and for the Rude Boy head sculpt, it worked out really nice. It still maintained some crisp details, and it was like a rock. Like you could slam dunk that thing on the ground and the horns would still be intact, right? But it's inconsistent. I kept on getting failures, and I'm like, you know what? Screw this, right? And like some of the details were lost, but it was still passable. I haven't tried it on the AK printer yet, but I wanted to try this M70. It's high precision, and it comes in this like salmon apricot color, and I think it's the resin that those like Chinese sculptors use. Like I don't know if you've bought some head sculpts like from AliExpress or eBay from like a Chinese seller, and
Yeah.
they always have like that orange resin. I think that's it because Resi One is it's a Chinese company. Plus they were started following me on IG. I'm like, ooh, shit, maybe I can get like a sponsorship or something. Hold on. So let me try it out. But yeah, dude, it's a weird consistency. So the Soraya Tech Fast is super like viscous. Like it's almost like milk. You know what I mean? It's so thin. And I can understand how you can get crisp details with that. And then this M70, it's like when you heat it up, it's very thin, right? But like at
Mhm.
room temperature, it's like goop. I don't know. It's like gack. If you remember gack.
Oh, dude, that's this. So I'm using Elegoo 8K
Yeah.
resin, and it's pretty thick, and it
Is it?
sticks. Yeah,
Does it change like when you heat it up? Does it get like super thin?
gets a little thinner, but it's still pretty thick stuff. I mean, you can see the difference between like the gray is Anycubic, and I can't tell if it's just the resin that adds to the effect of this piece, but this resin is nice, dude. I
Oh, the
like.
AK resin?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, dude. There are noticeable differences between using like an 8K resin and like a regular resin, right? Anycubic has a new resin, DLP resin, which I don't know what it is, man. It must be like different, is it polymers in it?
Maybe.
Um, that allow it to capture more detail, you know. So the best way I could describe it is like the non 8K and the non DLP resin stuff that I've noticed. Um, like the regular resins have like a more fuzzy texture to it. Like the prints come out a little like fuzzed up, you know what I mean? Like maybe a little blurry.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
this shit
blurry.
is like
Yeah, yeah, I see what you're
crispy.
saying. Yeah.
I'll go grab some prints and you can see how crispy this stuff is.
Yeah, I got some stuff to share here too. So what I think we're gonna do, let's do this. Let's take a little, we're gonna take a quick intermission, and then we'll be right back.
Cool.
Throwbacks.
I was hoping I'd see that framed up in the back over there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I had that printed out. It's on the fridge next to the enablers assemble Thundercats version.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I have some stuff here. I know you went and grabbed some stuff to show off.
Yeah.
So I'll let you. You want to jump in first? Let me make you.
Yeah, I haven't glued this down together yet because I wanted to paint it separately. But this is with the Soraya Tech. The navy gray.
Oh, I remember this bit. So this is the stuff that's a little thinner, higher detail.
Yeah, this is it's still fragile or brittle. Like if I drop this thing, like it'll get dings and nicks and stuff. Those handlebars will snap off easily, right? But the detail on this thing is crazy. And I mean, dude, there are no layer lines on this thing at all. I forgot
So
how
it would
long
be highly suggested for prototyping, but not a final product.
I mean, this could be the final product, man.
Oh, really? Not.
I mean,
you were saying it was brittle.
Oh no, yeah, no. I'm saying like the final like prototype. Yeah, I mean, you would want to print the shit in plastic for sure, man. You know, not that. But no, dude, that's it's by a designer. Kutan Sculpts on, like, he has a Patreon. I found him on not only IG, CG Trader, but it comes with like this chick and a dog, and she's working on the bike. But dude, you could just use this bike separately for like, I don't know, a 112 action figure. And then, of course, I had to print out some waifus. And this is primed, right? So this is a good example of like what it would look like painted. And this is from a company called I think it's Limbo Division, right? So they're very like cyberpunky waifus, completely up my alley. And she is dope. Oh, we gotta
Oh yeah.
blur out some things. But dude, like on the gun, like you can't.
That's clean, dude. No layer lines.
There's
at
no
all.
layer lines, dude. And this is like maybe two coats of primer. You know, and I did no sanding on this. This is straight out, you know, the IPA bath, straight out the cure station, and then primed. And it's so clean, man. Which really, like, man, after I saw these prints and the quality, I'm like, we're finally here. We're here where we can like make some cool stuff. Cause like I remember printing on the mono, even at like 0.2, definitely at 0.5, like you would print something and then you paint it up and then you throw a wash on it. And then all of a sudden you highlight the layer lines. I'm like,
Yeah.
Like this looks like it's almost there, you know, like you want it to be something it's not, and it's never going to be that. And that's even more heartbreaking, you know?
Right.
But now I could print a head sculpt, put it on like, I don't know, a Marvel Legends, and you would think, oh, that's a legit figure. Like that's how it came from the factory, you know? Like the quality is here.
Yeah. Microns matter, right? What is yours printing, or the microns?
So, the no, not the microns is the layer height, right? You're thinking of the pixels per inch, so the PPI.
Right.
So obviously the more dense it is, the crispier your details are going to be, right? So I think mine is rated I mean, I don't know. And I don't really give a shit. it prints dope. But it's not the best one out there. There's other ones that are better. I think the Frozen Mini 8K has a more denser because it's smaller, right?
Yeah, higher microns. What's interesting is what Frozen was able to do with the 8K is it has better. The microns are higher than some of these other smaller 8K printers, which is
I was thinking about
crazy.
That because it's so big. Like you think it would get like, I don't know, lack of a better term, like diluted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how they did that. But yeah, man, that's all the stuff I had to show. I mean, I got a ton of other shit that I printed, but I'm not bringing that all over here.
So just talking about not really printing on the latest printer, but just talking about things that we've either sculpted or designed or printed on the printer. 3D printing, specifically FDM and SLA. I got a couple of things here. Obviously, I'm still prototyping. I'll do the overhead cam for this. I think this would be perfect.
Oh,
Overhead cam. And
ooh.
so this is some of the components to the Wall XD. So this is the piece that goes behind, um, here for the window.
Yeah.
That came out really good. This one actually has texture on it. And this is done on the Anycubic Photon X or Mono X.
Mm-hmm.
So the detail came across really good. I think once you get on paint on it, it'll really come out. But something I don't do, and I probably should, is when I clean it, really get in with a brush and get all that out of those little crevices. And I don't do that.
Oh yeah. Since you bring it up, tell us about what's your process for, cleaning and post cure. Yeah.
Yeah, so especially with resin, obviously there's a bigger overhead, right? So there's cleaning and curing. If you guys aren't familiar, and those that are, you understand kind of the headache, and the bigger headache with bigger printers, right? Like the Mega 8K. But so when you take this off the vat or off your bed, you first need to wash this, and a lot of these are washed with alcohol. I can't say the word.
Yeah. Isopropyl.
Thank you. 91% or greater. And
Mm-hmm.
so I have a wash and cure from Anycubic I still use, even though I had the mega cure. So you clean it with alcohol. You can scrub it if you want. They do make water washable, so you can wash this in water, but I don't choose to use those. I don't feel like they print well. Maybe that's just my experience. And then you have to cure these. So that means it goes under UV light for a certain amount of time as a final step to harden any like resin that may be left behind. And that's why I was saying like some of the detail is kind of not as powerful, because I don't get in there and really clean all that out.
How long do you do your post cure for?
Smaller piece, it all depends. Smaller pieces, less than 10 minutes. Large pieces like the
wall.
The wall I did for 2 30-minute cycles.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was pretty good. The problem is if you don't get it all off, resin looks different when it's cured with the UV versus when it's cured on your printer. So it'll look a little shiny.
Yeah.
Um,
So when you're using the wash and cure for the washing, like your IPA gets all like muddied up, right? Like there's a ton of resin. Like how often are you dumping it out?
That's a great question, because I haven't dumped this vat out. I make sure there's no big particles, but it definitely is probably not the cleanest. And
Right.
that's because one, I haven't historically printed a ton on the resin printer. But again, like I just haven't cleaned it
Dude,
out.
I'll tell you this. So, I mean, now I have two, right? But when I only had one, I realized so I had the wash and cure one, and now I have the original. And then now I got the wash and cure 2 plus the big ass one, right? So that container would get all dark and muddy, and then there would be some stuff floating at the bottom, and it would kind of just cake on. And I'm like, damn, dude, I don't want to keep on dumping this out, because you got to you got to cure it, filter it out, put it in a container, and then take it to the site, whatever, right? Or just flush it down in the toilet if you want to be a dick about it. But don't do that. But I realized, it's still good for that initial wash. So what I do is this: I'll put it in that big wash, right? And I'll cycle it too, because it goes 6 minutes is the max. So I'll do 12 minutes, right?
Mhm.
And then I'll take it out, and then I'll put it in a little tub of fresh IPA, right? So that stays fresh for longer. And I get in there, I dunk it a couple times, and then I get an old small children's soft bristle toothbrush, scrub it out, dude. Because if you think about it, you're cleaning and it's spinning, and those little particles of uncured resin are getting on top of that layer, right? And I think that's why some of these, like the first head prints were kind of fuzzy, right? Because then you're going to cure that shit on
Yep.
top, right?
Yep.
So I do 2 washes with a scrub, and then I make sure they're completely dry, and then I go and I've increased my cure times actually, right? And I don't know if that's making it more brittle, but it seems to work. So I will go for sometimes anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes of cure on the new one. And so far it's been working great, dude. I mean, it's so crispy.
Yeah, it looks good.
No lines, no like fuzziness, no texture on it, like
Yeah.
when I would just do that first initial wash, you would like rub your finger over it and
I got
you
some
would
good
feel like some
examples of
grit.
that actually.
What's that?
The fuzziness, you see that
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, it's like the white parts and
Yeah,
yeah,
so
dude.
that's from like extra stuff from a non-clean alcohol wash, right? And then it
Mhm.
dries. That's just a bad print. But it gives you like a film or a powdery coat. So you get
Right.
in there before you cure it and you can get all that off, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of cases I don't really care, but then it all depends on the piece, right? If it needs to be super detailed. I'm gonna grunge something like this up.
Yeah, and I think
So
some of that could work in your favor too,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Some other pieces that I have are like these, and these have bad. I think this is from bad supports. You see that there? It's like the
Yeah.
support went through, and that's aggravating.
Oh, yeah. I've had a couple prints like that where, like, if I resize something, right? Because
Yeah.
usually I'll take like a mini, which is like a 32 millimeter, something tiny, and then I'll bump it up to like 118 scale or 124 scale. And when you go to recalculate the support, sometimes it recalculates like through the subject.
Hmm.
So I don't know. That does look weird though.
Yeah, but this is the Anycubic Mono X, and it is
Right.
a 4K printer, but the detail is still really good. I mean, those are bolts you can see there.
Yeah.
Um, it's so I want to print some AK ones of
Dude,
these and see how they come out.
yeah. You should print like a 1/6 Wolverine bust in 8K on that big ass
I've
printer.
already been looking, and I'm like,
Yes.
do I want to design something myself, or do I want to go buy something? And I'm like, well, I could buy. I think I already have some stuff, but I'm
I
thinking
probably
about completing my Mandalorian armor. Um,
yes.
Printer is big enough to support that. Um, for like wrist gauntlets, and then I already have his rifle and a couple different pieces. That'll take some time. Maybe I'll hollow it out, but dude,
Mhm.
that stuff would be dope. Maybe
Yeah.
walk around if I can get it out to San Diego Comic Con. Maybe wear some of that stuff out there. We'll see.
Dude, that would be dope. You can print like blasters and stuff in one go.
I think I can do head sculpts in one go if I can get the orientation right. A little smaller, or I
Yeah.
can do it in 2 pieces.
Oh, the helmet you mean?
Yeah. What did I say?
Yeah.
Head sculpt. Yeah,
Head
I
sculpt.
meant to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. Dude, yeah, there's some cyberpunk like handguns as props that I would love. They don't fit. I guess they probably would fit on my printer.
Yeah, you can probably
Yeah.
break them up.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, man, this is crazy. And it's also opened up like another, you would think it's another like rabbit hole, right? I'm constantly on CG Trader. I'm buying files that I haven't even sliced yet. I like when I was doing like the Porsche stuff, that guy, shout out to Black Box STL on IG, dude, he comes out with some crazy stuff. He's got like a full buggy kit, and I'm gonna get that. But I got like I showed you my I
You
got
got
like
me into some
7.
buying some model kits. Just 4 of
Yeah,
those. Yeah.
dude, I got 7 car model kits, right? And I'm like, dude, I never really like, maybe when I was a teenager, I built like a, like a 1998 Integra Type R or something like that. Like I've only done like a couple, but I saw this, and it was the body kits that made me want to jump into it, right? Because they had body kits for like an RX-7, the 350C, the new the new Z 2023.
Mhm.
And I found it's not Black Box, but I found somebody else on Cults 3D that has a body kit for the 240Z. and I picked up a 240ZG the other day, and I'm like, holy shit, man! Like, I'm gonna be stuck on this for a while. And you know me, dude. Like, in my youth, I was a car guy. Like, I've owned 9
Oh,
sports
we
cars.
talked about that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
still a
it's
car guy. I don't know what you're talking about.
dude. That's why I said I'm like, it's something new, but something familiar. I'm like, man, this is much more cost effective than you know, building an actual car. But dude, those files, man, even though they're like, you know, they can range between like $5 to like shit $50 for some files. It's so easy to click buy it now because you have the ability to just make that shit at home. You don't have to wait for shipping. You have to wait for the print and whatever. Like, dude, I got all this stuff. I picked up wheels. I picked up that rear
Dude, louvers. Oh my god, I gotta get
yeah,
louvers.
dude, I love
I gotta get louvers.
dude, louvers are the best, man. Put louvers on everything, dude.
You know what I want? I want like a mid 80s IROC or Firebird, and I want to do like a wide body kit on it and louvers.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in this model kit. I don't know if they make it or not, but I would love to do that.
I'm sure there might be something on, I guess this community is huge, man. Like the 3D community for 124 scale cars. I think I don't Mike, did I send you the picture when I went to the local hobby shop? I don't think I did.
I know you picked me up some stuff.
I did. I took a picture of the entire aisle. They had a ton of shit there, and I'm like, oh no, because now it's easily accessible at home, right? Like, obviously you need the kit, and then you can buy the body kit, right? Dude, they got seats. He's got seats. He's got rims.
Seats. Oh, I'm not in over there. Hold on. Look at this.
Dude, look at that truck, bro.
I was about to say, look at that truck. Hold on a second. Look at that freaking truck, dude.
That's sick, dude. That's so sick. You know what? For his buggy, and so he has like
wide body Ford GT back there.
Yeah, dude. So he also designs some dioramas, right, in 164 scale for Hot Wheels, and diorama pieces in 124. He's got some, I think, 112 scale stuff, but for his full kit stuff on your printer, Mike, you could upscale that shit to 112 and have a 112 scale like buggy. He made a flip.
The reason why I had this out today, and I would love to see a wide body kit on this. Now this kind of looks like the one that the Pat Bat drove it. You know, Mr. Wayne drove up on in the latest movie. But dude, I love to put a wide body kit on this.
Dude, there's another account that I forget. I think it's Dime Builds. He chopped that up. He cut the fenders so the top of the wheels are just exposed, lowered it, slammed it on the ground.
Yeah.
Like this, it's a new like rabbit hole, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm into this stuff now. And I can make a little diorama for it, make a little vignette, you know, like a little display.
Yeah. Dude, this RS7 looks dope. I had a friend in high school that's probably tried to kill me 3 or 4 times in one of these by doing crazy shit.
Dude, I love the FC, man. I had an FD, which was black on black. It was great.
Oh, I would still drive one. I still see them cars today, and I'm like, oh man, I would definitely buy and drive one of those. I still like them. Like,
hell yeah, dude. I mean, we're gonna go on another 7-hour tangent here to we talk about cars, but yeah, those rotary motors suck. You want to answer Doombot's question?
Yeah, so I saw it and I was thinking about how I want to answer it because we were talking about this today, right? And so there's a variation between Chit-U-Box, which should be native to Frozen at this point, and what actual print time it says once I slice and when I get it to the printer. And so I was going to kind of, query you back and ask, do you mean like on the printer or do you mean like between your slicer and the printer? Doombot.
Yeah, do y'all ever print something and it finishes before or after the stated print time? So I'm going to just go on a limb and say like whatever it like the estimated print time says on the slicer, right? In my experience, it's always more. The actual time is always more than what the slicer pushes out, right? Now, I factor that in. Like when I was slicing for the mono, it's usually the actual print time is usually double whatever Leachy told me. And I, man, to my pleasant surprise, when I first sliced something, damn, and for whatever reason on the M3, when I'm rendering it out, when I'm like converting, you know, the file to be sliced and onto like the you know, the card, it takes forever now for whatever reason. But
Yeah.
so I had to print the first one. It said 8 hours. I'm like, damn, shit, this is gonna be 16 hours. So I was automatically thinking in my head, it's gonna be double the time, right? But on the M3, it must be more efficient. And it was only like instead of 8 hours, and instead of me thinking it was 16 hours, it was only 10 hours. So it was 2 additional actual hours, right? So now it's like, I don't know, 1.25 the time versus like double the time it takes. But yeah, the slicers are never
So
accurate.
here's the caveat though. Any Cubics version, they have their own slicer, Photon.
The workshop, right?
Photon, yeah,
Yeah.
Photon is always accurate
Really?
to my Mono X. And so
Really?
I've only come to use Chit-U-Box for a slicer now because I updated the firmware on the Mono X, and two, because I had the frozen, and it's basically, you know, I think under the hood it's Chit-U-Box base software or something. But every time it's double, right? Like today, when I thought I got it down, we got it down to 18 hours. It was 33 hours. When I thought before it was 33 hours, it was like 56 hours. So it's double with
That's
Chit-U-Box
insane.
and frozen. I don't know. Maybe there's some default settings that is being overridden locally.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I know that sometimes there's bugs too, depending on like. So I was trying to download the specs for the Resi One resin settings, right? And they said on their site doesn't work with Lychee Slicer. They're missing some plugins or some functions that this won't port over. And I'm like, oh, okay. So who really knows with
Yeah, you would think all slicers are equal, but everybody has a proprietary extension.
Yep. Yeah. That's why
And
those
so
files.
even until I updated like the Anycubic firmware, even with the same extension in Chit-U-Box versus Photon, I still couldn't print it. So there's
Right.
something happening with the software, you know, under the hood that we don't really
Yeah,
understand.
all the print files are different. It was like MWMNO, then now it's P for mine is like PMBR, whatever the case. It's so weird.
Yeah, but everything for Frozen is just Chit-U-Boxes, what CBT or something, and like
So is it?
Anycubic's like MPRW. It's weird. I don't get it.
You like Chitterbox?
So I have Pro. I don't like Pro because it
Oh,
offers me too many options. So I, on my laptop where I'm in the shop, I'm just
yeah.
using regular Chit-U-Box, and I'll be honest with you, I'm just using its supports, like default supports.
Oh, the auto supports? Really?
Dude, shit's been printing beautiful.
What?
Yeah, and I don't know what the changes. Before I had a horrible time with supports. I'm just using its default setting support.
Well, what are you printing though?
Big ass shit.
I know, but think about the geometry.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's symmetrical, you know,
Yeah.
flat surfaces,
Yep.
it's on a slope and all that. I think auto supports, like, dude, I've just been learning how to like support my own stuff, right? Because like I've been printing a lot of minis, like characters, you know, some busts and whatever, because I've been using that to practice my painting skills, right? And the auto supports, I don't know, man. I've used auto supports before in the past. It's hit or miss, and especially with like some of these trickier resins, you know. I don't know. I don't think I've had a good experience with auto supports as you have.
That's
So.
only recent. That's only recent. But because you know as good as I do is like I needed a lot of help with supports, and I've reached out for help with supporting, and I've actually been so fearful on resin printing to print flat on the bed until someone was like, "Yeah, just print it flat. You don't need to do that." And I was like, "Really? You can do that?" So now, if I can print flat, I'll print flat. These pegs, I'm printing flat.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Damn.
And so at first I had a problem, and then I figured it out. But yeah, so I'm printing those flat. So if it's a geometry thing, I'll print it flat. Only reason I'm not printing some pieces for the wall XD flat is because I want to get multiple pieces on the bed so that it cuts down total time.
Yeah.
Or I would be printing like, you know, the sidewalk flat probably, because it would
Really?
cut down on the number of layers, right?
Dude, I've printed some stuff flat on the bed and I've never gotten like good results. Like it's either warped, like the actually the only thing that I did print flat on the bed that worked was those hubcaps for that cyber bike. But they were like, man, they were probably like 4 millimeters tall, you know, and
Right, but
concave.
so this is its own support. So like things like this, it doesn't need, you know, the support where like, you know, the stuff with all the different, like your point, right? With all the different shapes and variations needed. And the wheels may need it. I don't know. That's still a new development for me. I've been fearful to do it. And once I tried it and it worked, I
Yeah,
was like, okay, I keep doing that.
yeah.
Because honestly, you know, just as much as we're talking about today, supports take material that's wasted
A
material that
lot.
just ends up in the trash. Like I can't, this big piece I just printed, 50% of it ends up in the trash.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the less supports I can do, you know, it saves me some money. On these small things, I guess it doesn't matter. You know,
Yeah.
resin is not really that expensive, but it adds up, you know, over time.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely that's a good point. Yeah, I was looking at that question too. I don't really pay attention to um the volume, right, for the resin
FDM.
because
Oh,
I'll just look at so I do look at like the estimated resin, right? Oh, estimated filament. Oh, okay.
I've never really for FDM. I just put a whole
Yeah,
roll on it.
actually, yeah, okay. So I thought, Dude, I thought you were talking about resin with your first question. So for me, the FDM, um, I use Cura to slice that,
Yep.
and it's always accurate. The time has always been like either spot on or like maybe a couple minutes off, right? And that's how I would like when I would print buildings on the FDM printer, I would say, you know, building AC 6 hours, like on the file name. So I know, okay, I'm going to print this. It's going to take me 6 hours. And I would get that number from the slicer. And it's always been accurate. Yeah, but in terms of filament and like the estimated, I never really paid attention to that. As long as like my spool was like, had like a lot of meat left on it, I'm like, fuck it, let it roll. But for resin, I'll look at like the final number, right? So let's say it's 130 milliliters. I'm like, all right, cool. I got to make sure. Well, on my old vat, it had the numbers. For this new vat, I just dump a whole bottle of resin in there. Like it fits 1,000 or more milliliters of resin in there. In fact, I think
You
the
have a
price
refill
I
on
have,
it?
huh?
M3 has a refill?
No, not the M3 Premium, but the M3 Plus has the auto refill, and it works. I've heard and seen reviews that it works flawlessly. But like, I don't know, man. Like, that seems like another mess to clean up, and I don't know.
It does. So I was concerned because my vat is large. It'll probably hold
Yeah, Mike. We know it's big.
1,500 grams, but so my prints are 1,700 grams. So at some point I got to refill, and so
Holy
I just
shit,
waited.
1,700.
Yeah. So the base, I was printing the texture version, which doesn't have the panning yet, so it's solid. I mean, it's 5 by 12 by ½ inch. That's a lot of resin. So all I did is wait till the plate was, you know, a couple inches off, and then just poured in as much as I could, and you know, prayed it was good. Because it's really when the bed's sitting down in it is when it's got the most volume, and once it's lifted off, you're good.
Yeah. Damn, dude. I was looking at, so I went to go check my print when I was grabbing this stuff, and I can see it. It's finally lifted up to a certain point where it's like, all right, there's stuff on the build plate, and I can see it's still there. Nothing's missing. So that's a good feeling. And it sucks because, like, especially not like these vats, they're so deep, right?
Yeah.
Like, it takes at least 4 hours for you to see if your shit is gonna, yeah, I would say at least 4 hours for you to see if your shit is gonna fail or if it's gonna succeed, right? So usually at like the 4 hour mark, I'm hovering over the goddamn printer, like, do I see anything over there? Do I see anything attached? And if you don't see anything, god damn, it's the worst feeling. It's so heartbreaking. You're like, fuck, man, I wasted 4 hours. And I gotta clean this up. I gotta clean what's ever left in the vat. Hopefully, I don't like poke a hole in it, and then do it all over again, you know. And whereas if you see something, you're like, yes, and then you can just chill the rest of like the 9 hours or whatever long it's gonna take, you know.
So maybe I'm just slow, and that is 100% likely. But I just started doing the exposure test to clean my vat. My Mono X didn't have vat cleaning. The Frozen did. I don't know if other Frozens do or not, but I was like, oh, that makes sense. That way you don't have to throw
Yeah,
out the resin. You don't have to dump it. You just run that for 30 seconds, peel that sheet up a little bit, pull it out. I don't have to stick anything in there, scrape. I don't have to worry about my vat getting punctured. I don't have to worry about pieces being in there.
yeah.
It's a game changer, dude. I
how,
don't know why I didn't think
how
about
did you clean it before you found out that trick?
it. With the plastic scraper, dump the vat every time, especially if it was a bad print. And
Mhm.
so it's saving me time, but now that's time eaten up by cleaning this big ass bed plate. But
Dude, yeah, the cleanup on this, I told you, man, fucking night one, when I was repouring the resin back in, I the essentially spilled an entire bottle of resin in my living room. I'm like, fuck,
oh no.
you know, and it sucked. And the cleanup, man, like that's why these test pieces and the failed prints, they took so long, because the cleanup was 30 to 45 minutes to clean the shit up and make sure it's ready. But yeah, I would do the same thing, Mike. I would I would take the plastic scraper and like aggressively try to pop that sucker off, or go from the back of the FEP and like push it out and then peel it out on the other side. And then of course you damage the FEP. You're like, fuck, now I got to replace it, right? And that's why I bought like 2 packs of replaceable FEPs. But
I'm just
now,
gonna buy another vat, and I don't
yeah,
want to replace the FEP. I don't want to take out 30 screws and replace the FEP. I don't want to do it.
how much is the vat?
$150.
Yeah,
Oh, the FEP or the vat?
no, the vat with the FEP.
$150. And then I
That's
have
worth it.
2.
Yeah. See, and that's what I would do too, because my vat, I think my vat is $40. The FEP is like, I don't know, $20, but then you have to put it in, you got to like puncture the holes, you got to do all this shit. I'm like, no, I'll just buy a new one, man. I'm trying my best not to ruin this one though, right? And even with the cleanup, I'm like being very gentle, and I'm using like some soft towels on it. But the whole, for people don't know, the how to properly clean your FEP with a failed print. Like, let's say there's something that's stuck to the FEP, just one little piece, and instead of like digging it out and trying to scrape it, you hit the exposure test, right? Essentially, what you're doing is you're lighting up your entire screen, right? For me, 30 seconds and above generally works, right? For this new resin, I had to go 45 seconds, because it needs 120 seconds burning time to attach to the plate. So this resin is really weird. But so what it does essentially, it cures an entire sheet of resin, right? So you dump out the remaining resin, and all you have to do is pull out that sheet, and it's going to take out those failed prints, and it leaves a clean FEP, and is the easiest and the fastest and the cleanest way to clean. Actually, it's the only way to clean. It's the proper way to clean your failed print.
I feel like, and so Frozen, maybe on other, Frozen printers, this is an option of clean vat. Because there's a clean vat option on the Frozen. There's not on the Mono. And that's where I was like, oh, all this too is an exposure test.
Yeah. 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 Shout out to Uncle Jesse. I've learned a lot of stuff from that guy too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great resource.
Yeah, I'm definitely a amateur printer. I'm enough to get what I need done. Go check out these other creators who highly focus on 3D printing, like Uncle Jesse, right? That has all the tips and tricks, and all he looks like I think they probably send him printers to test, right? Which is really
Oh yeah,
awesome.
they do. For sure
Yeah.
they do. Yeah.
And so he has a wide gamut of experience with a wide, assortment of printers and brands and sizes. Check him out.
Yeah. Dude, I'm getting to the point where I was telling my son this. I don't know if you remember this feeling, Mike. Oh, and there is a question I do want to ask you about printing as it relates to dial making. But I was asking, you know that feeling when you first started making a dial and you're like, oh yeah, I got the hang of this, or you're gonna get the hang of it, and you're like, yeah, dude. I started getting that feeling with like not only when I was like learning how to do the supports and like troubleshooting, right? The problems with like the failed prints and like adjusting your exposure settings, because like man that shit takes time, dude, and it's really just troubleshooting and dialing it in, trial and error, right?
Right.
And then with the sculpting, and I told Mason, I'm like, yo, I'm getting that feeling again, man. I'm feeling like I could pick this up, and I'm excited, dude. I'm more excited for this now than shit dial making or toy photography or anything,
But it all ties back. It complements those things, right? Because it
Mhm.
it it you know it changes your dio building ability. It changes your photos, your photography stuff because you can
Oh yeah, props,
props, yeah, right. And
weapons,
so
props, head
it all
sculpts.
ties back, yeah. And then now
Yeah.
in this new age where you can, you know, make something of your own at a mass produce, it's
Mhm.
also a game changer, right?
So that brings me to my question, dude. Like a lot of people, I remember when we got our when we got our Mega X's, our FDM printers, people would be saying that's cheating. That's cheating, man. You're not a real die maker. You're letting a machine make the stuff for you. And I know, I don't know, they had some hot takes and we felt different. What do you think, man? You think 3D printing is cheating in the diosphere?
I think
In
you're
the
asking the
diosphere?
wrong person because I was some of the first people who used to CNCs and lasers and all that, right? Remember, I've been called out for cheating for a long
Well, what do
time.
you say to those people that call us cheaters?
What game am I cheating at? Like, this is a game for myself,
Yeah.
But at the same time, I understand. Like, there's
Mhm.
handcrafted, sometimes when I see hashtag handcrafted on dials, I'm man, is that a dig at me? But at the same time, like I do handcrafted when needed, and I do automated when I need to. So yeah, I see a good comment here. We got
There
it
you
at
go.
the same time. What does it matter, right? What matters is the end result. If you're in a challenge, you're on a contestant show to make a handmade piece of miniature furniture. Fine. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You got skill. I'm not saying that they don't have skill. There's a skill in handcrafted to give the same results as something that a machine could.
Yeah.
You're using a different piece of your brain and skill when you're digitally making something and producing it somewhere else. You got a whole set of different problems. It's a different game, you know? But
Yeah.
as time goes on, technology changes everything, right? More people are now 3D printing, sculpting, doing it this way, right? And the traditional way is still great, but more people are gravitating to a new way of doing things.
Yeah. Um yeah, Bearded's right. It's not cheating. It is evolving and Doombot for sure, man. If you're designing them, like designing like the AC unit, those windows and stuff, you're still making them, right? But what you're gonna do now is like you're designing it and then you're gonna put it on the printer. The printer's gonna do like the dirty work for you and make
What
it. And you could be working on the walls or the foam or the brick or wherever the case is, right? Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, is it cheating if you're buying the doors from Hobby Lobby? Because now, like, I'm making my own doors, right?
Yo, so here's the thing. And I remember so before we like came up with the title for this, the original title for this episode was going to be called episode 4, the cheat code. It's not cheating, dog. That's the cheat code. I'm just gonna
Up,
fucking get to
down.
the finish line faster, right? And I'm kind of just poking fun at some of the purists out there, right? Because like I respect the handcrafted stuff. Some of my like favorite dio makers are just, you know, those purists where it's like fully handcrafted, right? They'll handcraft like just wooden like planks or like fences or whatever, right? That we can easily print, design and print. Um, and if that's the route that you want to go, dude, more power to you. But for me, dude, I have a short attention span. I will leave this project, go on to the next. If I could find a way to not only keep me engaged, but like cut down on like the actual like the not so fun work, right? Then it's a better experience for me. And that's really all I care about when I'm building these things, you know? Like I don't want to make windows. I don't want to use the magnetic jig that I got from Micromark to make sure that my wooden corners are at 90 and wait for the glue to set and all that shit, you know, and then figure out it doesn't fit and what, like, nah, man, I'll design it in Tinkercad or whatever. Exactly, dude. Hadouken this shit.
Well, I think there is a time and place for both, right? So example is like the quick stop I'm working on. When I handmade those little locks, right? I could easily design those and 3D print them, but I handmade them.
Yeah.
And so what I never understood is why am I being attacked about, and it felt like an attack on some level about using a machine. I never came at you for using your hands, you know, like, or using a door from Hobby Lobby that's obviously noticeable. Like,
Yeah, dude, that standard ass door.
right. So, you know, I think there's a place for both, right? Do what makes you happy, do what you think is perfect for your piece in your eye, right?
Yeah.
And if you want feedback, ask for it. I don't know.
Dude, at one point, the Proxxon was considered cheating. You remember that?
I do.
Back in the day.
But
That's
now,
crazy.
like, I didn't know this until recently, but like the Proxxon and then shifting lands is now like blown up, dude. And I remember, you know, I picked it up from Black Magic Craft, same
Me
you,
too.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And no one had really heard of it then. They're like, whoa, what is that? What is that? But now it's like, you know, the number one probably tool a lot of people have.
Dude, the shifting land stuff is the cheat code because that does unlock the full potential of the Proxxon, right? Proxxon in itself is a good basic. It's not even a good tool. Like it's fine for like cutting foam, but it's not precise or anything like that, right?
Oh, Beard, this was years ago. Like, I think it's pretty common now to see the tools that I have. You know, a lot of people are using or used before me. Just it's different.
Yeah, I remember people talking shit about the laser.
Yeah,
like, dude, what are you talking about, man? MDF kits have been made for the longest time, and that shit's cut on a laser. You know,
I think people didn't understand the end game where I was going, and I think Wall XD kind of explains that. I've been trying to look at how do I build this at a bigger scale, right?
Right.
But still, you know, slowly doing it, right? And then using it, you know, for precision and all these different things. And so I think it's more obvious like where I was going with it. I still think like glow forges like are game changers. Like you can make anything in your house now. It's not just diorama making. You could take something and personalize it like that. I was talking earlier how you could have a concept, design, and have something in hand that day, dude. I do that all the time now. And it's like, I couldn't do this without this technology. And so why would I go back? Why? Just like the human language or anything, right? Human knowledge is an evolution, right? Why would I go back to learn words again? Like the language example. This is bad. But why would I develop words when there's already a language? Just go learn the language. You know, why do I need to reinvent? Why do I need to come up with a 3D printer when there's already a 3D printer? I just need to know how to use it, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's human evolution, and then, you know, the accumulative knowledge of humans. Tap into that, man. That's why everybody here on YouTube is sharing their knowledge, right? So you don't have to start out at ground zero. You have this platform you can start out on, and then you know, form your own skill.
Yeah. And I think I don't know. I don't really know what the motive is to like attack somebody like who's trying new shit out, right? And I think a good piece of advice is, and it is only because I remember my dad back in the day would be like, yo, you got to learn AutoCAD, you got to learn Corel Draw and all this shit, right? And I never did. I don't know why. I was lazy. He didn't show me, whatever the case is, right? And ZBrush and like stuff like this has been around for years. Over like modeling stuff has been around for over a decade. And I wish I learned that, right? And I think the advice is if some new technology comes in, right, like lasers or printers or whatever, and you're like a purist using your hands, and again, more power to you, because that shit is so dope, right? At least try to understand like this technology, what it does, and how it could be useful or how it's not useful to you. And then maybe you can like form an opinion, right? But I guarantee you, if you take a look at this and like look at all the shit that you can do, you can find a way or like some sort of application into your own art, right? And again, I'm not trying to like force it on anybody. And I get, if you're handcrafter 100% and it's choice, dude, more power to you. But that's why when I first got into 3D printing, I was looking, I'm like, what can I do with this stuff? And I remember when we were talking like the enablers, season 1 enablers, we were talking about like, oh yeah, before we all got like the Anycubic, the Mega X, like, oh, we can do this. I'm like, fuck yeah. And then when we were introduced with resin, I'm like, oh yeah, I could do this,
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's different, right? I mean, you do have to learn something. You just don't hit a couple buttons and something comes out, right? You actually,
it's not easy.
What am I going to do?
Not easy.
You then have to find, right? You have to find out what you want to do with it. You have to design something, and then you got to figure out, actually, is it going to come out how you design it? Do I need to change settings? So there's a lot of experimenting, a lot of time and effort up front, right? And then once you have it dialed in, that's when you're golden, right? That's when you can start, pumping it out. You know what you're doing. And so it takes time, right?
Hell yeah, man. And the more time you spend with it, the more time like you not only learn, but like troubleshoot. Troubleshooting is like the biggest thing, especially with this. Shit is going to go wrong. But if you know the formula, like when we were troubleshooting, like why your shit wasn't printing, okay, there's no cured resin at all. That means no light, no UV light is hitting it, right? That will make this experience much more enjoyable. Like I remember the first printer I got was the Photon SE, dude, that relic now. Goddamn, and that was only what, 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
That shit is so primitive. Yo, I can't even give that shit, or they can't even give that shit away. I was thinking about selling my mono now. And I was like, because what did I pay for it? Like 300 or something when it came out. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll put it up for like $200 or something. Yo, Anycubic, brand new, is selling one for $169.
The Mono X, I think
$279.
$99. Yeah. I was like, why? I'm just going to keep it and just use it. Because, it's always good to have a backup or for smaller prints, or if it's busy and you need to print something. Yeah.
You know what? It's also good for testing. So if I'm testing out, what I'm trying to do now is, so here's my workflow when I'm like trying a new, either like supports or like resins, right? And I've learned now it's better to overexpose and then work down from that, right? So I'm always pushing it right to that threshold of just failure from underexposing. It's the people that have put it back up.
Sorry. It's a good save.
It's the people that have tried and failed or have never tried at all that hate on someone that knows how to do it well. Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's heartbreaking, man. Like failure after failure, dude, that'll beat you down. And like I've thought about quitting, dude. I've quit several times. I quit ZBrush last year. I quit Blender. I'm gonna try to do it again. Hopefully, I won't quit because I spent a lot of money on that shit, right? Like the 3D printing stuff, like M58 defeated me. I don't want to mess with that resin anymore. This M70 would have defeated me, but now I know how to troubleshoot, and that's only because I've tested stuff. So back to my earlier point, Mike, so I overexpose, and then now I get to the point of just failure. Like there's a really good test print file from Tabletop Found, or is it?
Is that what you used today?
Yeah, and it shows you. I'll go get it in a bit, and I'll explain how that works. But I want to get to just before failure at the least exposure time possible, because one, it saves time, right? And energy and all that. And I think I get crispier prints, right? So I'll test, these settings, and you're going to fail. You're going into it knowing the shit's not going to work, right? That's why those 3 failures today, it wasn't so bad, because I knew they were going to fucking fail. And one of these is going to come out right. But that's why I'm keeping the second printer, because I'm doing all my testing on that. I don't need to fill a vat, 1,000 milligrams of resin just to test out one little thing. So I'm going to keep the little mono. Yeah, the mono, test the, supports and all that shit. And it's just going to be like, the little side piece that you beat around. Right, J5?
Hey, yeah, dude. Hey, it's a good side piece. Hey, I need to step away for a few seconds. You want to take over?
Yeah, I'll take over. Mike's got to take care of business. That's so big, holds a lot of volume. All right, Chad, it's just you and me, baby. It's been a while since I've had some alone time with the chat. How many people are in here? I don't even know. But you keep me entertained. How about that? Bearded, I'm looking at you. Actually, you know what? I think, because we're running out of time, let's just do this right now, yeah? No, I haven't been doing much sorcery lately. I honestly have not been building dios. I've been focused pretty much 100% on, okay, it's not going to make sense because I said 100%, but there's going to be several things. But this year I want to refine my painting, mainly like head sculpts and eyes. I fucking hate painting eyeballs. I hate it, and I'm scared of it. But this year I'm going to tackle it head on. I just repainted like one of the Sesray waifu chicks. I think it came out pretty decent. And that's why I've been printing a lot of stuff, because I want to be good at painting. I want to be like the Uncle Sam's or the JCM Customs, or even like some of those miniature painters, because dude, that shit is sorcery. Like you could see, like their shit is hand brushed, and it looks so clean. And then I've been focusing on 3D printing, smaller scale shit like hexagear stuff.
I missed something. Eyes are so humbling.
I started doing this. We're in like an hour 40. I'm like, I'm gonna open some toys.
Oh, you're opening stuff?
I mean, we can still talk, but I want to open this thing.
Oh man. Well, we talk about what you're opening. Let me figure out what I'm gonna open.
I thought you got that Super 7 thing.
I do, but I got like other things. Like I got a backlog of just things I still need to open. Like that's not even half of it.
I mean, Enablers is on in like a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold on, but like,
I
got a couple hot toys I gotta open. Got some Super 7 stuff.
You got a lot. Did you get that whole wave?
I did.
Did you open any yet?
No. I haven't had time, dude. I'm busy working and being a dad, and then I got this thing, we'll talk about later, called Wall XD I'm trying to do. It's busy, man.
You want to talk about Wall XD now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. You okay, I'll talk.
Is that cool?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll just open this while you're talking about it.
Yeah, so Wall XD, guys, if you haven't heard already, first thing I want you to do is listen to what I'm going to say here, is go follow me on Instagram, HighSchool Creations, same as what you see here. Also, over on Facebook, there's a new page, HighSchool Creations. I am launching a display, a expandable, adaptive, customizable display that is actually a manufactured piece, yet hand painted by HighSchool Creations, that I'm going to start as a crowdfunding campaign over on Kickstarter in March. And tonight, I'm going to show off some prototypes that I've been printing as well as a new feature. And so every week since I announced back at the beginning of February, I've been releasing a feature tease. And so far, I have shown off the tab gons, which hide these tabs. I can give you an example here. So here are the tabs. These tabs are what make the Dio expandable. And so there are what are called tab gons, and this is for the base that hides those tabs to give a complete look. So if you're doing a single figure display like in a DTOF, you can hide these tabs pretty easily so you have that finished look. So that was the first tease. Second tease was last week over on Ernie's channel, The Fallen Feet, where I announced that this is not only expandable horizontally, but also vertically. So you guys will see at the top there. Let me switch cameras actually. You guys can see at the top here, and don't mind this dimpling. This is from the 3D printer. This will not be what it looks like from the factory, but this is how that will expand. And so these will actually have a slide here, a slide groove where the feet will actually fit in, so that will make it secure. This print just didn't have it. Come on, focus. Boom. And what you're looking at here is actually the first prototype of the actual digital file that will go to the factory to create the molds and actually print off. So this is the most or the closest version of this diorama that I have that will be in hand once this funds, right? So this is the back of it. This is the panning part to cut down the material. And then, you guys, I've been printing out I've been printing out other accessories. So like the window accessory that fits in there. Oops. The window accessory that fits in there. And that's a friction fit. And then, like I said, I've been printing out the tab gons that hide up the other side. And then I've been printing out, if you guys follow me on Instagram, have been paying attention, I did tease these earlier this week. Oh, I got a handful of them here.
Yeah.
And these pegs, these brick pegs, I don't know if you guys already see these holes in the back here. If I flip it over and zoom out a little bit, you can see there's some lighter color bricks there. Interesting, right? Let me just show you what this is all about here. Uh-oh. You guys can see that. So that's the reveal for this week. I teased it earlier. So there's going to be these ported blocks inside of this. And there's a grid. If I flip to the other screen, you can see there's a grid of these across the diorama. And so what I'm not going to give away is what the grid's for, but I'm going to let your mind just imagine what that could be.
Yeah, we would love to see some theories though in the chat. So,
but now the factory is going to have a different type of plastic. These are resin, so they are a little tighter. They are more brittle, so I do have to be careful with them. But they do just plug right in, and they will actually just pop right out. But they fit in there flush, as you can see.
Yeah, dude. So I mean that's what exactly this print is. This is proof of concept. Right. Mike's idea works, and this is the proof right here.
Yeah. And there's been several comments about the tabs. I just want to show you guys. The tabs are the same tabs on the sidewalk as well as the base, and so I do want to show that how tight these fit on. These aren't going to fall off. These are really nicely fit. You can see the back there.
So dope.
So the tabs are very important to making this work. And I wanted something that was simple. It wasn't going to hurt our hands. We've had those small pieces we had to put together on dials. I really want to make this simple and effective. And so one thing you got to be careful of with prototypes. So they are resin. I actually cracked this one. You can see some super glue in the back. But with the type of plastic that will come from the factory, that won't be a problem. It'll actually be very a very nice plastic that's durable for this type of stuff. So But yeah, so this week's reveal is the peg system that'll be a part of Wall XD. And so you'll have 14 of these small pegs and then 2 of these pegs here that are mirrored. And so coming with the wall as a unit, coming with the wall as a unit, you'll get more than you need. You'll get ample number of these because I know they can get lost, to cover them up when not in use and take them out when in use.
We had a couple questions in the chat, Mike. So I don't know if you want to address this.
Sure. I didn't see them.
I gotcha.
Is every order going to be hand painted by you? It'll be hand painted by HighSchool Creations. HighSchool Creations is either me or a team of folks under the brand HighSchool Creations. So it'll be painted in house, and quality control will be in house. Does that make sense? So I can give you some numbers, Scarlet Kid. If to make this successful, we're looking at 800 to 1,500 units. That's almost impossible for a single person to paint in a lead time of a year. So I will get folks in there helping, and that's pretty common with independent companies that do their own painting. Oh, what was the other? Oh, it was the same different question.
Yeah, different one.
The time to fully fund to our hands. I am pitching 12 to 14 months. Everything is being done in the U.S., so I've identified a factory that is U.S. factory, and with me hand painting it, everything will be made in the U.S. So I'm hoping that'll cut down on any lead times. However, what that does is, unlike when you do manufacturing in China and it's whole house, I mean, they do the painting, the packing, the shipping, the everything, right? That doesn't happen in this case. What happens is the factory produces a blank. They send me the blank. I then paint the blank, pack it up, and ship the blank. So that does require a little bit more time, but I will eliminate the excuse of any kind of overseas plague or lost ship or just transit or tariff type things, right? I want to eliminate that kind of thing. So best case is 12 to 14 months. And if it is longer, I'll be completely transparent about that if there's any delays. But at this point, that is the best time. Will you have unpainted ones available? Wow,
Which is a great question, and I was thinking the same thing from the legendary Terraformer. Thanks for tuning
Mario,
in. Bro.
You already know the answer, and I've already given one reveal today, but because it's Terraformer,
yeah,
I got to answer the question. Yes, there will be an artist render available. So there will be a variant version that'll be a close to gray version that will be a paintable version. And that's up to this point, I've been quoting 3 words: expandable, adaptive, and customizable. And customizable has been kind of like, where is the customization? That's one piece of it, right? And I've just not teased that out yet. Is there will be a grayscale, and all the things offered underneath Wall XD, there will be an artist render, or what is it called?
Artist proof.
Artist proofs. Thank you. Artist proof version or variant that will be available at a reduced price.
Dude, which is a dio builders or somebody that's capable, their dream, right? Like for me specifically, like when I found that out, I'm like, holy shit, man, I'm in. Because I'm going to take that thing and I'm going to cyberpunk that thing.
That's what I want. So the biggest thing about this isn't for me to go be Mr. Scrooge and count my coins at the end. This is my extension to be able to creatively touch more people at a higher rate, right? And so now I can give dioramas to people who want them completed, or I can sell kits where people can then apply their personal touch to them. And so that is what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah, dude, I think it'll be so. I'm already like looking down the road. You got somebody with like a badass shot, and then they got that dial piece. Like, yo, is that custom? Did you make that? No, that's a Wall XD. I just painted it up. I got the artist proof.
Well, the answer is yes. It's a custom paint.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It is. So, and it's a good way to like, dude, another way to make it your own. And I think being a collector, we're always trying to find a way to make this our own, even though they're mass produced pieces, right? Again, you know, like doing little touch ups or head swaps or something, like whatever. We all do that. We all do that stuff. So having that option for like the artist proof is another way to like personalize your own collection, right?
And
So that's dope, man.
you could still do that if you buy one painted up. You could, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, people do it all the time. You could take it and add a graffiti. You could put another wash. Say you don't like, or you want a different variation of the wash that I have, right?
Mhm.
You could change that easily. These things will be paintable. They'll be customizable to your liking. And you guys that are diorama creators, you know, you will already want to do that. But then there also is another section of folks that just want something to display that don't want to do the thing. And I'm trying to offer something to everyone that I can. So I
Right.
hope this is going to meet that. And
It's
so I do. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's there was a comment from Dioforge earlier that I wanted to highlight. I can't find it now, but he was dude, he was gawking at the grout line depth that you had showed on the close up, and I thought the same thing too, right? I don't know if the completed model is gonna have like the grout in it or the texture, but if not, dude, it'll be so easy to fill that sucker up, wipe off the excess, and like, you know, you're like it's a perfect, it's crisp, and there's enough depth where you can fill it up yourself, and you don't even have to fill up. There's enough depth for shadow too, right? Mike's thought of everything.
Well, I mean, we've been building bricks forever, right? So it's kind of come full circle. Bricks is typically the first diorama you make. I showed out something earlier this week in my stories where my first brick wall, my first diorama was a brick wall. So it's kind of, you know, coming full circle. My first factory produced piece, factory produced piece is coming back to bricks, right? And so, you know, we do bricks all sorts of ways. Hand cut. I've done them on laser, CNC, brick roller. So we know bricks, right?
Yeah.
And so
I
when I
think it was a
offer
little
this,
poetic too for you. Like the
it is.
first
Yeah.
entry is
Yeah.
a brick wall. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
You know, and we've been doing polls secretly, you know, as we've been, you know, scheming behind the scenes for about a project like this for years. Like we put out polls and, you know, everybody wants typically some sort of brick or city themed
Yep.
dio, right? And so one can dream that with a peg system, what does that mean? A brick wall is plain Jane. But
Mm-hmm.
let's say you want a city alley, right? There's a couple components you could add. But if you want to make a cyberpunk alley, there's a couple other components you could add. And then so if once you get swappable parts on a basic brick wall, you can have different kind of themes, right?
Why the fuck
So a
did I
brick
highlight this?
wall, huh?
I said, why did I highlight this? Just clicking shit. I meant to click on this.
So a brick
No,
wall
but
is
yeah,
very versatile. That's all I'm saying.
that and it goes to Toy Chase's comment here, dude. Yeah, think about that. You know, a brick wall is the standard base. If you want it for different times and era, you got to outfit that wall with different things. You know, so
Yep.
it's gonna work for literally everything.
Where
Maybe
was
not.
everybody at an hour ago? I just feel like everybody just showed up. I know Beard has been here and Scarlet Kid's been here, but I feel like a lot more people came in recently. Must have been some kind of party we weren't invited to.
Maybe there's another stream on.
Maybe. So one thing I'm going to talk about a little bit is the timeline. I thank Scarlet Kid for asking that question about timeline. So I
Yeah.
do want to talk about when it starts. And so one of the things that I'm working on, I'm very team focused. I'm very community focused. And I knew when I wanted to tackle this project that the only way to successfully do this is with a team. And so like that's when me and Mario started talking. You know, we've been talking to people behind the scenes, but one of the things that I'm doing for Kickstarter specifically, since you know, crowdfunding and then algorithm chasing is a whole nother field, right? I like to make things. So I've brought on a team member to High School Creations who is specifically Kickstarter and crowdfunding focused. And he came on board Monday and we talked. And so we set a date of March 14th. Oh, I had it and then I got scared.
You're on a
March
roll.
14th. It should be a Tuesday. And so the plan is to launch on Kickstarter March 14th, somewhere between 3 and 4 p.m. Eastern time. So that's going to be the start. And there will be notifications going out. That'll run 27 days. I don't want to do anything shorter, anything longer. And so, but that's just the beginning, right? Then goes into that the time that the real work starts, right? Working with the factory, making sure things fit. I've been this week, me and Mario has been talking about it just to get these printed, been playing with the settings and the sizes. And I went through, digitally, these all fit well together. But when you print them out physically, there's subtle changes that need to happen. So like these bricks, like I've had to scale a couple times until they fit perfectly, right? So I went at 97 and then finally 95% of size was the perfect fit for these. So there's going to be some of that with the factory. And then it's going to be, me receiving them and then go ahead and then painting them and then, getting the packaging, shipping them, getting them out. And so 12 to 14, months from the end of April. So sometime in 2024, I'm hoping no later than, May or June of next year, having these out in hand.
Right. And, there's a lot of like variables that can pop up too once the factory gets the, the design, right? When it goes for tooling. I just learned last night, like I was watching one of the Pixie Logic tutorials, right? So a sculptor for Hasbro, a Black Series, like obviously he sculpts and it has to go to tooling. It has to be able to be injection molded, right? And there's certain designs or like I guess like angles and stuff like that won't work when they go to like injection mold. Like let's say, if something is
you can't have any hangover. Right.
There you go. It's called hangover. Yeah.
Then you will have to have a specific kind of slide mold made to support.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
That like kind of pulls it out. Yeah. And I didn't think of that. I thought, oh, they just design it and these are standard like joints or whatever. No. Right. Like even like, so he sculpted like Ray and her eyelids came up or her eyelashes came up. Right. And there would be like an air pocket or something like behind her eyelid. So he had to like fill that out, right? Like something that if you design it to complete like, square like this.
Meat hang?
Shit, that got me, dude. That was good. Yeah, you don't want any beef hang. Can you imagine like going for an interview with like Hasbro as a sculptor and you're like, yeah, I know about beef hang. We're good.
Yeah.
But no, so like, if it's designed like this, like it won't release from the mold properly. So sometimes they have to add slopes or something. Like there's a lot of shit like that we didn't know. And then as we went down, or as Mike went down this, rabbit hole and like we're doing all this research and stuff, like, holy shit, you got to think about almost everything. It's not just like, hey, I have an idea, I'm going to design this, right? If you're going to tooling, it's a whole different game, so keep that in mind. Like you never know, delays can pop up. It's just when you get to the next stage, again, you don't know what they're going to come back with. They say
there's always a chance of delay, and that's why I say like if something comes up to be completely transparent. That's as all
as long as you keep
what's going on in the chat.
Oh, chat's getting a little unruly right now.
Wow. Hey, there is did the meat hang make it into the Canada Toys R Us?
No, I think that got edited out, but I think it was in the members only. They were talking about the meat hang. Dude, that shit was a lot. All the gold was cut, man. You gotta.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But so as far as phase one, and so this is going to be leading into the question that Matt Scarlet Kid just asked about stretch goals. Phase one is the base diorama, so that or the display, and so let me share real quick what I mean by that.
Man, stretch goals. I'd rather work toward wave 2.
So that's a great point. And why can't I find what I'm looking for? I see it right here on my screen. Give me a second. I'm sorry. I don't know
Yeah.
how.
In the meantime,
Why is it not?
you take your time. I'm gonna give everybody
Oh,
some of this.
I just
Oh,
had
you
it
got it? Okay.
and it disappeared. Hold on a second. Ooh, is that Sentinel?
Yeah, man. It only took 2 years
Oh,
to get
Peter
him.
B.
Yeah, Peter B with the little dad bod gut.
I'm so resistant to Sentinel for some reason.
Yeah, you're a Mothix purist now.
No. I think I
No?
am on the 3-0 train.
What?
Yeah.
That's new.
No. That's all the Power Ranger figures. I've been buying all the Iron Man figures, the latest Transformer figures. Dude, they're dope, dude.
Oh, Chamba's gonna love this.
Oh yeah. I just talked about it on Ernie's channel the other day. And
Whose channel?
Ernie's. Fallen Fat. So let me go back to my previous statement.
Go ahead.
Everything under this unit, I've already went to the factory. They've already gave me estimates. They've already signed off on, hey, there's none of the meat hang on these.
Oh, okay, good.
And that includes what's not shown here are the tabgons for the wall and the side. So that is one unit, right? And then so that's a part of phase 1. There's phase 2 and phase 3. Now, typically, why are you shaking your head? Fallen Chronicles. I think typically with an action figure lineup, they would be called waves, right? You see wave 1, wave 2. I'm calling them phases. So phase 1 is the main display. That's still expandable, that's still adaptive, that's still customizable. And this is this with the tabgons. That's phase 1. That's what the base of the Kickstarter will be. There will be stretches, and I still am figuring out how the award system or reward system will work, but there will be phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 3 will continue to go down the avenue of customization, and wink wink, that has something to do with the peg system. And then phase 3 will create an ecosystem for this where you'll be able to create a completely immersive. Now it's already expandable as far as part of phase 1, but phase 3 will really take this all the way to a complete ecosystem. And if you've been following the channel, or if you've been contributing to any of the lives, there have been hints dropped along the way what's going to be in phase 2 and phase 3. And so stretch goals in this initial Kickstarter will be to attempt phase 2 and phase 3, but I have to be upfront. Those get expensive because that's additional tooling. Tooling is the biggest expense here. And
Right.
so I am a small micro company. I could maybe go out and do phase 1 of this by myself, but I could not do phase 2 and phase 3. And so that's why I'm bringing this Kickstarter. If you guys love what you're seeing and can help get it to phase 2 and phase 3, you will see this stuff actually happen. If phase 2, phase 3 doesn't happen this Kickstarter, there will be additional Kickstarters until I can close out Wall XD, because there are other XD lines that I want to bring to you guys.
Right. And I don't think, I don't think Scarlet Kid was talking about like, oh, what are the stretch goals, and that'll be the incentive to back this. Like, dude, the wall is the incentive to back this, right? If there are stretch goals and whatever, that's a cherry on top. But like, the goal is to get to like those different phases, the different waves or whatever. Yeah, man. And I guess we can't talk about some other stuff, but just stay tuned, man. Like, it's going to be a no-brainer. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think some of the stuff's obvious of what I showed off tonight, as a part of phase 1, and then phase 2 is what I just said, obvious, and then phase 3 maybe not so obvious, but it's been asked for. And if going back to what I just said, it completes the ecosystem in ways that it can't do now. And if you guys understand the scalability now, I think you really will get what that is. So again, those will likely be stretch goals, or I have to look at how the reward system will work. But at the base is phase one, right? That's what we're trying to get out now is phase one. And if we can reach phase two and phase three in this initial one, that's great. If not, there will be follow-ups if this is when this is successful. Unhinged crew. Yo, Matthew must be getting back from his birthday dinner.
Yeah, dude, he was getting after it.
Unhinged.
Happy birthday again, Machu. You are my ambassador, Aquan, man. Oh, and thank you again. We always got to say thank you for the intro. It's so dope. I missed that intro, man.
We can play it again.
We will when we go out. Oh, we need an outro. We're working on that. Yeah, dude, open that up. This guy's lanky.
He looks good though. What's the biggest gripe with him? Wrist pegs?
Nah, man. Like he doesn't have the same pegs as the Sentinel. People were hating on the Sentinel Miles for not having a ball, just a straight up swivel wrist. But he's got a ball peg for the wrist.
Do you still have the Mofex to compare them to?
No, man, you have it.
I had two of those for a while, and I traded somebody for something.
I sold you mine.
That's right.
Oh, man.
So confused in this new Hasbro packaging. What's trash and what's actual? Like there's inside this folded up cardboard. There are glasses.
That looks like trash.
Exactly, but there's treasure in this trash.
Oh shit!
Everything all right?
Hold on, I forgot to take my meds. Old man meds. I'll be right back.
We didn't talk about that. I guess we won't, huh?
I mean,
old man.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. I woke up one day and I couldn't walk anymore. So
watch this miracle when he gets up and walks away.
Yeah. Like one of those streamers that gets caught. Like, oh shit, he can walk. Nah, man, I don't know. Something's wrong with me, but my doctor's he's on vacation with Kev next week.
He's watching tonight.
Yeah. No, I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh. This figure comes with all these hands, a little toy of himself, and a hat.
Did that just explode out of the package?
It was like sploosh. Got so much stuff. Oh, sorry. Go do your thing. I was just excited. I was wondering why it was so expensive.
Dude, that's so funny, man. I was actually looking at some classifieds. I wanted to get like a Lady J and use her to customize to make an April O'Neil. Because the outfit is very similar.
We did trade.
Oh, yeah, that was Kev.
We traded for. I couldn't have been that mall. I'm pretty sure I paid for that mall. I don't remember what we traded for.
The mall does sound familiar.
I think I paid for the mall, though.
Oh, hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh, I have twine to use later in dioramas? Look at this. Anybody have this figure? Sergeant Slaughter in the classified line? I don't have anything sharp on my desk right now. Looking this up. Yeah, I thought. Oh, yeah, that's right. You know, I never opened him. I was going to open him up on a couple of streams. It was the one with like the Rudolph or reindeer outfit. I forget his name. Cousin Eddie? Was that it? I don't know. I can't get this figure out because I don't have anything. I have my enabler knife.
Yo, Mike, I just went to go check on the print. The shit's failed, man.
No.
Well, there are some that are still on the plate, and there's one that's just stuck on the FEP, and you can just see everything else moving. Like, yeah, damn.
That sucks.
Yeah.
See, there's multiple pieces to it.
What's that?
There's multiple pieces to it.
Oh yeah, I got like, I don't know, 20 things printing on there. So
Nice. That's dude. I for some reason I don't know why I've historically like done just single things and then like it doesn't matter how much is on the plate
yeah.
because it's going to
So,
print the same time. Like it's not like FDM where it has to travel all these different
right.
ways.
So what I did was this. I put multiple of the same pieces, right? So um I have like the cyberpunk chick that's gonna go with that Porsche. And then this is all like 75 millimeter scale, or I'm sorry, 124 scale. But what I did is I put multiple of the same piece, right? So there's like probably 5 different characters on there, and I got just multiple, but I changed certain things. Like I changed the support. So I have some, because I try to use light supports on everything. So when you go to remove it from the support, there's like less damage or minimal damage, or maybe sometimes no damage at all. That's not true. There's always fucking damage. But because this resin is so, I don't know, like, I don't know how to describe this resin, man. It needs to be like overexposed. So I changed my light supports on some of the models to medium, and then some to heavy, because I know those will print out. So that's why some of them are working and some are failing. So I'm guessing the ones with the light supports are failing, which fucking sucks.
How dope is it? It came with its own minifig. These are like the little smallest,
like the mini brands.
Yeah,
or the world's smallest.
so
Yeah,
cool, dude. I don't remember how much I paid for, but this is definitely worth it. Even like the little accessories. Look, the scope comes off and the mag.
35.
Huh? What?
35.
45?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's GameStop, so it definitely is more expensive. But yeah, I mean, this is cool. Goodbye.
Yo, Kevin is such a hater. I realize that. He's such a hater, dude.
I did tell you? I did tell you. Whenever like they announced Batman was being shipped, I was like, I immediately like text Cal and said, "Hey, what are we gonna talk shit about now?" Like,
yeah, dude. Yeah. Hey, that's his 15 minutes. You're done. You're done, Kev. See ya.
Hey, they heard Kev though. They heard Kev.
Yeah, they heard him and Bad Force Grump, and they're like, "Let's do it." I was talking to Kevin earlier, and I was like, "Yo, what if they couldn't say anything because Warner Brothers said, "Oh, you can't release that shit until we drop the Flashpoint trailer." And I've seen that comment all over the internet. I'm like, damn. Well,
it's kind of shitty because
yeah.
they were bound by contract not saying anything, and at the time they had to take all the bullshit publicity from a late ship. Dude, who knows? It is ironic timing.
You know what though? So I'm happy for everybody that order it. Yeah, dude. I was talking to Machu the other night. Toy Migos was showing off the Hot Toys Keaton Batman and the Batmobile, and they kept on saying, dude, Keaton's like what, $300? That Batmobile's like $715. For like $1,000 you can have the display. And I'm like, I just spent $1,000 on a fucking program. Like, yeah, I could have that display. So I went to Sideshow, I put everything in my cart, and then I see a text message from Macho. He's like, yo, look. And he had Batman and the Batmobile in this cartoon. I'm like, aim for the bushes. I didn't pull the trigger though.
What? Why not? Payment plan, bro.
I know. Well, that's exactly what I said to Machu, and then he like, made me feel bad. He's like, I said payment plans, and he's like, nah, if I don't got it in my checking, I don't got it. Then I'm like,
damn. Okay.
Damn, bro. Okay. Shit,
I just like knowing I don't have to spend all at once. But okay.
Yo, Machu's Hollywood now too, so it makes sense for him to say something like that. I'm like, man, I'm still stuck on payment plans. But my point is, like, that Keaton Batman, that Hot Toys looks so damn good, and that is my favorite Batmobile. And I'm like,
they don't charge you interest,
huh?
It's not more expensive with a payment plan.
No, it's not.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I don't.
No, but here,
I don't. The comment's not valid.
Oh, Machu's thing. Machu's comment.
I'm joking.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, they did hear Grumps. No, but I would get it, but I don't know. Like, dude, that Batmobile is gonna be Thing's gonna be huge, man.
Well, I told you what else I ordered. Now I'm thinking to myself, where am I going to display the DeLorean and the Batmobile?
I know, dude. Wait, did you order the Batmobile?
Yeah. Why
Oh,
wouldn't I? Dude, that's like the first superhero in my life was Keaton Bat, dude. Like I had the cutout. My mom worked at Children's Palace. I had the cutout. I had everything, dude. Birthday was Batman. Dude, it was
keep
crazy.
on. I can hear you. Keep on talking.
I don't want to talk anymore. Keaton Bats. See, who knows what was actually said.
All right, Mike. You know what? I'm gonna order it. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it.
Dude, have you the amount of detail they put into these vehicles at the price? $715 seems like a lot of money. Look at the DeLorean, came out $850. DeLorean 1 from the first movie, meaning it doesn't have the fold down wheels or the what is the Mr. Fusion on the back, which is iconic, right? It now sells for $13 easy, maybe $2,000, right? So Keaton Batmobile, how many other 1/6 scale high detail Keaton Batman mobiles are there? Are there? So
Is there?
if it makes you feel better thinking about what you could potentially sell it for, not to sell it, it does make you feel better about the price. It is a deserved price considering, you know, how big this thing is. We're talking about a 1/6 scale Batmobile that'll have light up features, the works, right?
No, I think I gotta do it. I mean, my immediate reaction was to go and put it in my cart, and then I don't know. I'm doing this thing now where let's sleep on it for a little bit, because usually it's just like, oh yeah, that looks cool, boom, pre-order, lock it in. But yeah, I think
I agree. It for me though, anything 89 Batman.
Yeah. It is. It will be. So Toy Amigos did bring it, like, it'll be a centerpiece, a display piece, right? People will come in and be like, "Holy shit, look at that!" You know, and it looks like something that would be like in a museum. You know, it's a future.
Yeah. And I don't think the tumbler is iconic as 89 Batman. I mean, that is the first like major. Is it the major like theaters version of Batman that was like?
Yeah, that's the first big screen or silver screen. Yeah, I do remember seeing the 1/6.
It's a legend,
dude. We saw the 1/6 tumbler at not Heroes World.
Heroes World.
Frankensons. We saw it at Frankensons, and yeah, The Dark Knight is my favorite Batman movie ever. And the tumbler was, I don't know, it wasn't like my favorite Batmobile. Like the 89, Batmobile is my favorite. But I did consider getting the Hot Toys tumbler. I got the Lego, not UCS, right? Like the big ass one, the first version. I got that tumbler. But man, that original Batmobile is the shit, dude. If it did come with shields, that would be so dope. I know it doesn't, but that would be dope. If it's split up into the Bat Missile, that would lock it up for me too. But I'm gonna do it.
I'm just hoping they do another Nicholson. And
aren't they?
I don't know. It'd be cool. I mean, why not? Because they're not considering this like the Flash movie. They're calling this 89 Bats. So I would imagine maybe they revisit. They still have the molds, right? Why wouldn't they do it? There's an anniversary coming up, right? Got to be.
Yo, Cap Lives, I'm with you, man. That animated series Batmobile.
Dude, and I think I could have bought that from Kev one time. Didn't he sell it?
I sold mine.
You sold yours too. It's really nice, dude. It's iconic.
Yeah, no, that thing was nice. I don't think that's scale. You know, it probably did scale accurately with like, was it the DC collectible or DC icons? Yeah, it probably did scale because the design of that car is crazy. What the hell is it in a freaking you know, like a straight 16 or something engine. Like the front end is so long. But yeah, I do love the animated series Batmobile design. And what was the other, like season 4, the Adventures of Batman, that series, like that Batmobile looked cool too. It was like a redesign, animated redesign.
I want to see that. I want to see the recreation,
dude. And you know what? Yeah, he did. Machu did say that. He said it would be him not getting that 89 Batman and Batmobile would be a disservice to 3-year-old him. And I get it. And I think that's why a lot of people were so like up in arms about this whole Mezco 89 Batman fiasco, because there's so much emotion
rooted, right? Especially for our age group, right?
You know, and like, you know, the people that this is my take on it, and I've been pretty quiet on it. Like, and now that it's coming out, who gives a shit, right? The people that are all like, hey, you gotta wait for it, and like, I don't understand why you're getting so pissed. Just wait for it. They really wanted it, right? And the people that were, you know, upset about not hearing anything and the delays, you know what? They really wanted it too. So both of you guys really wanted it. And that's it. You just really wanted this goddamn 89 Batman, and everybody loves 89 Batman. That's it.
Everybody wants it. They just have a different way of showing how they want it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. They wanted it. That's it. But yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
There we go. Yeah. So I'm super excited because the DeLorean should be coming out soon. I saw Adam Savage do an unboxing. So excited for that.
Is it out already, or it's coming out soon?
Coming out, because I've not started making any payments yet.
Wait, so didn't you buy the freaking Mando speeder bike one too?
No, I bought the deluxe Mando that came with like Boba's armor and like the additional head sculpt. I need to open that. I'm gonna save that for the enablers. Actually, it's got Pascal.
Oh, that came in.
I've had it for weeks. I just haven't been able to open it.
Shit.
And then I got this wave of Super 7 Power Rangers I got to open, and stuff's just piling up.
I can't believe you didn't open one Power Ranger tonight, man.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to. I'm gonna wait for like Kyle's. I like opening Super.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep on forgetting about that.
Power Rangers, yeah. Like I said on Unparalleled show last night, Kyle Flute is my favorite enabler.
Kyle Flute. There's only one version of Batman, right? The deluxe version comes with the statue.
No, there's the regular and deluxe. 89, right?
Yeah, I don't see the regular.
What is it, sold out?
What's the difference? Is it just the gargoyle? The only difference?
Which I don't remember that from the movie, to be honest, and I need to go back and watch it. I don't know what.
I remember, dude. You don't remember like
I bought it. I just don't remember what it was.
Oh, you bought the deluxe. Okay.
Yeah. I remember liking. What was the second one called? Oh, I can't even remember.
Batman Returns.
Returns. Thank you. God, I just know because Catwoman and the Penguin, and that was my favorite one. Although the first one is iconic, right? What's up?
The chat, dude.
I hope we get a Nips bat. I want a George Clooney Batman. That was Nips bat, right?
Yeah, that was Nips for sure.
I ain't gonna lie, dude. I went to the movies and saw those movies. Batman Forever.
Yeah, of course. They were the only comic movies back in the day.
Yeah. And then but there was so much hate for those movies, but I'm like, I remember watching like Jim Carrey. I wasn't upset with that Riddler. You know?
Wait. Was there hate at the time, or there's
maybe it's
now because the standards have changed?
Yeah, maybe it's now.
Yeah.
But also because a lot of people didn't go watch those type of movies back then either. Like,
yeah, that was back in the day when okay, I see it, collector's edition. I just gotta make sure like I'm not missing out on like different like face plates or hands or anything.
Yeah, they'll get you sometime with those head sculpts, right?
Yeah.
When I got the Venom pool, I wanted that grimacing head, and I didn't realize that that was a deluxe version. And so when I got it, I was disappointed. And you can't order it separately.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think he comes with all the face plates. Oh, so he comes with like a wrist gauntlet thingy.
You're not gonna use that realistically.
No, but like just knowing that, you know, for an additional like $60, I could have gotten like this accessory, you know?
An
Like if it
accessory
was an
that'll stay
additional
in the
head sculpt,
box the entire life.
if it was an additional like head sculpt or faceplate, whatever, I don't give a shit. I will pay for the deluxe, you know? But
What did Matthew say?
oh yeah. Oh, earlier? He said, hold on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I get it. Yeah. It
And
did bring a
then,
lot of people together.
yeah. Yeah. No, it really did. It's so funny, man. Like the line that gets drawn in the sand that divides the toy community. Some of the shit is just way too funny.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. Mezco missed out on a lot of money from me for 89 bats.
Yeah.
I
No,
chose not to
absolutely.
pre-order a lot of things because I didn't know if this was going to be a continuing trend, and I don't want money locked up for 3 years when somebody else is going to make a figure like that. Maybe not soft goods, but still just as good. So I chose not to invest money in Mezco because of 89 bats, and
Yeah.
they chose not to communicate. So that happened. I'm sure I'm not the only one that made that decision.
No, you and hundreds of other people, dude. A lot of people. That's a common theme for the past few months. It's like, oh, I'm out. And you know, especially when you see them pump out like their own IP, right?
Yeah.
Mixed in with the lack of communication, like it just didn't look good, right? So
Now,
that definitely stirred up some emotions and shit.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna be kicking my ass because that stuff looks hella dope. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted it. I just made a decision not to. And
I
so like
know.
Conan and a lot of these Rumble Society that I chose not to buy, I'm probably gonna pay more for later on.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? I mean, that's part of being a collector, dude. You know, the decisions you make now are going to affect the decisions you make in the future. But it's been easy for me, dude. I dropped Mezco. Wow, it's almost been 2 years now. I think the last one I got,
You get Wolverine? I guess that
I
was a
sold
couple
that.
years ago. Oh, did
Remember,
you?
I sold that. I did get it. I got it because Cheney enabled me. He's like, you're gonna say no to
You missed on
14
20
head sculpts?
heads? Yeah, 14
I
heads.
know, yeah. All that head. And I still said no.
Yeah, I was such a Mezco I pre-ordered the Ghost Rider. Remember how many people were like, "That's too expensive." I'm like, dude, I love it, dude. They're gonna kill it.
Yeah. And here's the thing, Mezco shit is dope, objectively. Like soft goods, you know, tons of accessories.
Detailed accessories.
I know. And I do like their you know, their own IP, like their Rumble Society stuff. It's cool. It's just, I don't know, man. It brought a lot of stress collecting Mezco to me. You know,
Buying
especially when you
Mezco.
see like the repaints and like, you know, that mad dash. In the beginning, I know it's better now. Like you can actually get your hands on some stuff, but like, you know, and it just, there was a lot of other stuff that I'm more into now, you know, but dude, shit, my favorite Mezco was the Black Costume Spidey because that buck is amazing, and that was the buck that I used for Rude Boy. So
I remember you had like 2010s packed up.
dude, I bought 8 of those things at full price.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I've definitely funded my share. Yeah, dude, Kevin said this on his IG live. He really amazed himself with his own idea, which was fucking just, you had to be there in the moment. But he's gonna give away one 89 Batman, and I thought that was chef's kiss. After all that shit, he's gonna give away an 89 Batman.
Did he get 2? Because the way he says one.
I know. That's what I don't know. I'll let him answer that.
I want to see how it is because
I know, dude,
as
me
good
too.
as Mezco is, we've had some travesties, if you will. John Wick.
Yeah.
Remember that was delayed, and as much as I like that figure and hand it looked a lot better than the photos, wasn't a great fig.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't say I wasn't interested.
Because they're also trying out that new seamless body, right?
I guess. I don't know. I haven't really been.
Did you not pre-order this?
89 bets?
Yeah.
No, man, I'm out on that shit. I don't.
That was before you were out. You said 2 years ago. That was 3 years ago.
I must have missed that then.
You,
no, I didn't. I didn't pre-order it. No, man. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't pre-order it.
Yeah, Conan.
Or you know what? Or you know what? Maybe I did pre-order it and I just completely forgot about it.
Better make sure you paid in full because they need to update payments.
No, I don't think I did.
Better check that. Yeah, that Conan. Remember, I almost paid like 300 decon for that Conan.
Yeah, no, that would have
I was almost willing to do it. It's a good looking figure. And I remember thinking, oh, they can't do a non-soft goods figure. Well, look how good it looks.
I didn't pull the trigger on the Sideshow Batman yet because I want somebody. Could somebody in the chat confirm? Do I need the collector edition or the deluxe edition? Except you, Machu.
Wait, what's the collector edition?
It's just the basic edition.
Yeah,
so
that's wait.
That's what you got, right?
Deluxe.
Do I
got the
I don't want the gargoyle. I don't need the.
Yeah, I think I got the gargoyle, but didn't understand why I got the gargoyle.
Oh well, then if you got it, then all right, screw it. I'll do it too.
Hey, my bat's bigger.
I'm definitely doing it now. Wait, no, you don't get points for that, do you?
In a game,
out of spite.
Spite points? I don't get any points. I don't get any points. It's pointless when someone's got 1 million points to even try to get points.
Yoko's got 2 million now.
What, 1 million to 2 million? It doesn't matter. I am trying to fund a Kickstarter to beat Yoko at enabling points. It's still not going to
win. Wait! I didn't even think about that. Would that be points, dude?
It doesn't matter. There's no way I would beat 1 million points.
Kev, would that be points? His Kickstarter? That's got to be points, dude. That's got to be points. That's because he made it and he sold it. That's not professional points. Holy shit. Yeah. I want Mike to win again 2023.
There's no way. 2 million points? That's not happening.
No, I think Yoko's just. I was stuck on 2022. She's got 1 million only, so you're fine. You got a chance.
No.
I don't know how she got another 1 million. Kevin's got to figure that shit out. No, how is that professional points?
I think it's professional points.
It's not professional points. Is that your actual job, Mike? You get benefits through the Kickstarter?
Technically, I mean, it is a small business.
I'm trying to help you out with the points, but okay.
I mean, at 1 million points, there's no way that anybody's going to be 1 million points.
Hey, Mike, you might.
That's a great question from Cap Lives. I don't know that I've ever had anything from Mofex that I personally ordered go 3 years. Have you?
No, but I am constantly pissed at Mofex, dude. That X-Force Deadpool and Wolverine was supposed to convert last year, and then it got pushed to April, I think. But I think, and Figma too. Like I talk about this with Chamba all the time. Good Smile is the worst with delays, right? But like, what am I going to do? They got me by the balls. I want the figure, you know? And they do it so much that now it's kind of expected. I don't know. like I really want the figures, but I'm not like emotionally attached to them. And I think that was the thing with the whole, because it's not the people aren't really necessarily bitching about the Mezco delays. They're specifically bitching about the 89 bats, which again was a 3-year delay with zero communication. And I get that. But I think there's an emotional attachment to 89 bats itself that has like kind of heightened that whole, that whole issue. You know what I mean? It took something that was bad and made it like this divisive beef. I don't know, but yeah, Mafex, they piss me off too. Good Smile pisses me off.
No, I think that's a valid point, and some of it, I think especially community, like people tend to clean together on the same. Everybody could relate at that point, right? Everybody wanted 89 bats. Nobody else was really putting out one. I guess SH Figure Arts did, but didn't look great, right? And
Mhm.
so everybody's able to come together, right? On, hey, why is there no communication on this thing? And delays happen, understandably, right?
Yeah,
I think it's more the communication piece, right? And
yeah, absolutely. I think if they kept that line open and clear and like here you go. And again, we don't know. We don't know why they didn't.
yeah, that's just all speculation. I mean, who the
Yeah,
who the
and
hell
it,
are
it
we?
probably has something to do with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like don't say shit. You can't do it until you drop. But again, we won't know. But yeah, I totally get it. Valid point. You get zero contact, zero information. Somebody you gave money to on something you really want. How else are you supposed to feel about it? You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing obviously from the Mezco side that says, "Hey, we owe you updates," right? That's just something
Yeah,
that could happen.
yeah,
Anyway,
dude. I you look at this stuff and tap into other people, and I think I'm like, damn, what have I done for figures? Man, I've done some crazy shit for figures. I've waited fuck that. I've waited since 1998 for a figure, and I just got it.
yeah. So you made a very good point just then. It wasn't 3 years that we waited. It was 3 years since we paid. But I have been waiting since
Yeah,
1989 for a great
exactly, dude.
Michael Keaton Batman, and Mezco was going to deliver that to me.
Right.
You bring up other good points, though. Mr. Freeze, Ghost Rider. I'm in on Ghost Rider. Mr. Freeze, I think was that announced before 89 Bats? I think so. But again, to Mario's point is they're more deeply rooted with 89 Bats. Keaton
Right.
Bats has a place in our hearts, our age group, right, that are
Right.
the collectors right now. So I think that plays into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you think of that, and again, it's like you're so close. You're so close to getting this thing that you've wanted since '89, right? A realistic, fully articulated 112 scale, 89 bats, and yeah, it's going to trigger some emotions, man. I remember. So I'm talking about Xenogears and this Well Tall. I've waited since 1998. And there was no chance in hell, that that shit was going to get made in 1998, right? And then 2 years ago, Square Enix threw up some renders and they're like, "This is coming." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And at that point, I decided, no matter what it costs, and no matter how long I'm need to wait, I want it, and I'll get it as long as they deliver. Right? I'll be happy. So I don't
That
know.
And he reminds me, I do have the quarter scale Keaton Batman, but again, it's not 1/12 scale, highly
Quarter scale.
articulated soft goods. I guess it is soft goods.
Yeah. And
Ah,
Kevin made that point too. He has the Hot Toys that it's a 1/6 scale, but it's not the one that we want. We all want a 1/12 scale 89 bat. So, but you know, it
I think as we move on with production and advances, I think companies are able to get stuff out faster. So, like, you know, 10 years ago, I'm sure the norm, 3 years from concept to in hand is reasonable. But as we advance, considering there's a pandemic, you know, I don't think that's the norm. So, they do have some sort of out there, but
now I am curious, for Cap, what would drive you crazy from your childhood? I know it's not 89 bats. It wasn't even a thought back in 89, but
ooh, that's a good question.
what would it be for Cap Lives? Probably like 2003 Turtles or some shit. I don't know.
Hey, I would be after those. Those ones that Machu have are 2003 turtles, right? The Rivotech ones?
Oh, did you get those? Yeah, he got those, right?
Got those
Yeah,
from
he
Kev,
got
I
them from
think.
Kev. Yeah, I forgot about that. Or maybe I'm misquoting that to 2003. Um, yeah, no, I know what mine was and I got it. So, when people get their 89, they're gonna feel a
What
sense
was
of
yours?
relief. That Xenogears figure.
Oh, you just said it. Dang.
Yeah. It's good. 2000. Let's see. Let's see what Cap said.
I think when I get my Thunder tank, I don't know if people have heard this comment before, but I said how my mom worked at Children's Palace, and I was huge into
Oh my
Thundercats.
God, Children's Palace, dude! Wow, what a
I
throwback!
remember seeing a bag with a Thunder tank in it in the back of her car, her carrying it, but it never made it to me, and it scarred me for life. I'm finally gonna have a Thunder tank here soon. I don't care that it's not as big as a box as people made it seem. It still fits 5 figures. I'm totally happy and can't wait to get that thing.
Yeah. Cap says probably the Batman 2004 cartoon figure from Mafex or Spectacular Spider-Man. Dude, I would love Spectacular Spider-Man. That'd be great. From Mafex or Sentinel.
What's the 2004 cartoon?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that with what's his name from Third Rock from the Sun? The Batman? What was his name? I forgot.
Harry and the Hendersons.
Yo, Pulp Fiction figures?
That would be cool. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would. Obviously, we've all waited 3 years. I would wait for whatever I wanted for a certain amount of time. A Van Damme movie figure?
I don't know if that's a dig at me or not, but I would need a Van Damme figure for sure. I wouldn't wait 3 years for a goddamn Van Damme. Oh, hell yeah, Machu. Yo.
Wait, are we talking about Rufio from Hook?
Yeah, dude. Yo,
That's funny. I just watched that movie the other night. You're being serious about Hook, Rufio?
I would wait for eternity for a goddamn Rufio.
We're talking about the same Rufio, right?
Yeah, dude. I am Rufio.
You know that motherfucker couldn't crow.
That's good. Motherfucker couldn't crow. Oh.
I would imagine they would make him at one point, but my neck is great. Mafex would obviously kill it in the articulation.
I think Cap Lives has a higher standard for articulation, and I agree with him. NECA is good.
Oh, I was agreeing with him. I don't think NECA would do the articulation.
Yeah. NECA's good. Well, I mean, those turtles that I got from Dorkani, like, they really surprised me. If you push them, they can get some really impressive poses, right? And I think like my like what I'm willing to accept was like my standards are changed just because my expectations were so low. You know what I mean? Because like the last NECA figures that I had, they couldn't move for anything, and these like move pretty good, which made them like stellar in my in like my brain and shit. But no, they're decent, but they're not going to move like like the Revoltex or anything else like that.
No, but they've made advancements. Like even their Predators and Alien figures move a whole lot better now. I think I started noticing it like in their King Kong figures, and I love those newer King Kong figures. But they really articulate well. Everything's double jointed now, no single stuff. Some of the movie stuff they do, but no dig at Mario. But I would send a pic of every day of Van Damme.
Dude, you and everyone else.
I still have that somewhere. There's a picture of a Van Damme.
You have? Yeah, that's right.
Remember, I found that when we were at Decon.
God damn! Shout out to Prime for that iconic meme. Yeah, man. Dude, NECA has really surprised me, man. That was like the biggest surprise of last year, dude. When I got those figures, they look good. Accessories are great. Paint apps are
colors
spot on, and the articulation. And the QC was perfect. I had no issues with my guys at all. Actually, not true. On Donnie's, one of his like faceplates, there was additional plastic, like on the inside of like his lower face, so it could like the top head couldn't seat down properly. I just had to shave it off a little. That's it. It's so good. So much. So
I
much
didn't.
stuff.
I don't know if there's just something wrong with me, but I didn't realize. I just with Rufio, I don't know. I didn't realize he was any different. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Rufio was awesome.
You didn't realize he was Filipino?
No, I mean I just saw a bunch of kids. I didn't realize.
Yeah. Plus, well, he had the face makeup and all that shit. But like, no, dude, there's another like Filipino person. You're like, one of us. It's one of us. We need it. Yeah, dude.
Do you think if they could manage if they could equalize articulation while they're doing it there, so I hate to say it, with some of the gaps, if they could find a way that they would hit a whole lot better?
Well, I mean, dude, so
That's
why
a great example of that figure right there.
Him, the Deadpool, like the 2.0. So, and they shot themselves in the foot, but yeah, when Amazing Yamaguchi first came out, they were all using the Reaver joints or the Revel joints, right? Those big ratcheting round, ball peg joints. I guess they were known for that. And over the years, they got rid of the ratcheting, like this. He still has the Revel joint in the arm, right? But it doesn't ratchet anymore, right? And now they've streamlined.
Wait, that's a new figure. Are you saying it wore out, or just they changed how it worked?
No, they just changed it. So there's no more. There's no more. But it's more streamlined. Like the legs, it looks like a solid sculpt now, right?
Yeah.
This is just a straight up hinge joint. But because the sculpt, like Mr. Yamaguchi is just killing it with these sculpts now, you could barely tell. And you got a joint right here and in the shoulders to simulate like a butterfly, or I guess it is technically a butterfly joint.
I think I've just overlooked Revotech for so long. Like I've noticed, but haven't noticed. Obviously, Matthew, I saw his video with this, and it looks really good. I guess refuse to recognize that they've.
Yeah. I mean, if you look closely at his stop motion video with Black Panther versus Cap, that Cap figure is an older figure, and it has, more of those Revel joints and those big gaps and cuts, mainly on like the shoulder. But they did on that figure, he has just a hinge joint right here, right? For example, that Spider-Man 1.0 has a Revel joint in the knee, which you don't need. Because the knee is only going to bend back and forth. The knee never like really bends like to the side unless you break that shit, So I think they've learned.
Wait, you don't have side knee? I got side knee, bro.
Yo, I got side knee now, dude. That's why I'm on these crutches, man. Dude, but I think they realized, okay, we don't need to put those Revel joints everywhere, which has really freed them up to streamline their sculpts. I think Amazing Yamaguchi doesn't get enough love, or at least the love it deserves, only from like maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say like the hardcore people, the posers, it's a poser's dream. But dude, I would love to see more releases from Amazing Yamaguchi.
I still feel like when people say poser, I have a negative vibe just from back in the
I know, yeah.
People say poser, and it took me a minute to really understand what you were saying there.
Yeah, dude, they really are. They're such a
well, and their Iron Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider-Man, excuse me, was really good, right? The red and black one.
Yeah, the Iron Spider. So here, I got both in essentially the same pose. It's an advanced figure, right? Like if you're used to posing legends like this, you're gonna have a tough time with this if you've never. Oh yeah, dude, Revoltech Harley Quinn is the best figure they've ever made. But see, like, you can get him in that pose, right? Then you got these gaps.
But you got to be able to hide those, right? There's a skill, right? You could break him on screen too.
You just slam dunk him. Also, now I got like fucking code on my screen. What the fuck is going on here? All right. Anyways, am I still on? Okay. So I got him here, and like you could see, like the sculpt is all like, look at the knee. Like you don't need that joint there, right? Now compare him to the new one. Still breaks up a lot, right? But it looks much more streamlined. Fuck, where's the knee? The knee's got that cap on there, you know.
It looks good.
It actually does use the Revel joint too, but it looks so much better. So they are getting better.
Keep the red one over the black one. I thought the black one looked better.
I actually have both still. I got this one displayed. The black one is boxed up. I don't have any more shelf over here. In fact, freaking Machu. I don't know, Machu, what did you do? He sent me something.
Clipped.
It's not the first. Machu sent me something which triggered me to like redo my entire shelf, and I'm like, oh yeah, he got the new or the reissue of the 2.0 amazing Yamaguchi Deadpool, and it came in like the non-plastic packaging, right? So Yamaguchi is actually moving to like a more streamlined, just a box, and like it's not as loud. It's just, it looks a little more, I guess, premium. Anyways, and he's like, yo, do you have the shading on your torso for Deadpool? And then I sent him a picture of my Deadpool, which is in a vanilla pose over here. And he goes like, vanilla pose? Who are you? And I'm like, I don't got any room on the shelf. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you, Machu. I need to create some more space. So I started redoing the shelf, and then I realized, oh no, I'm doing this only because of Machu. Screw it, I'm not doing it anymore.
Well, you know, when you decide to sell those Dragon Ball figures, who to call?
No, dude, I can't. That closet behind me, stacked with Dragon Ball figures, unopened. When I move, I'll display them. I can't get rid of those. I can't. I have every single Dragon Ball figure.
Did you pick up the Namekian dragon?
No. And I don't have Cell. That Cell that you got for me.
Oh yeah, I need to send that to you. I have a lot of stuff actually that I've bought over the years that I was like, oh, Mario needs this.
Yeah, I still got to send you a lot of shit too. Yeah, but no, I mean, this is like, I don't have any space, man. So I gotta redo this, but I don't know what I want to take down. I want to display everything.
Yeah, that's the tough part, right? Especially when like new stuff comes in. Gotta make room. My detox are full now. Like I want to display a lot of the hot toys that I've been picking up and stuff. And because why would you spend that much on a figure and not display it, right?
Oh, dude, all the premium like 1/6 figures are displayed here. I have a limited amount of space, so that's why I don't get any more. Actually, that's not true. Fuck, I just picked up. What?
He's got to get a point. Now you just need a Dio, someone to make you a Dio.
No, I honestly thought about that, but like half of it's just boxes in there, dude. It's look. You see right behind me? It's filled up. I can't even fit those boxes in there.
Wait, what are those? Super 7 boxes?
No, those are Azode International. You don't know what they are. They're imports. They're waifus. They're imports. And no one's going to fucking buy them because nobody knows what they are. They're like the Mezco of like Japanese waifus, whatever. No one's going to buy them. And they're like 130 a piece. And I have them here and I don't want them anymore. But no one's going to buy them.
Hey, I know you, dude. My wife complains every day. Why do we have all these unopened toys in the closet? Hey, what am I going to do with them?
Dude, you know what's funny? So my mom came over here and like was helping out because like
Matchy's got the idea.
Dude, yeah, that's what we were talking about that. But then I was like, I took it another notch. I'm like, can you imagine if we use the pin particles to like paint stuff?
Or the reverse of the pin particle makes stuff bigger.
Yeah. Or like, how could you use that for like dios or like painting head sculpts? Anyways, so my mom was here for a little bit, and she was helping me out because I can't fucking move. And she goes to like put the girls like shoes in their closet. And she goes in their closet. She's like, I'm like, what are you doing? Don't go in there. She opened this like just boxes of shit. And she's like, oh. And then she was asking, like, oh, Mason, do you have a closet? I'm like, no one has a closet in here. They're all filled with toys. And that's when I realized I got a goddamn problem. So much stuff, man.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. So I told you earlier today I've been building model kits, tackling the backlog because it takes up a lot of space, right? But now I'm making new space to buy new shit.
There you go.
No, that's not the solution. That's the problem.
I was just thinking the other day, I've not bought a figure from you in years, I don't think. When I used to
from
buy
me?
all your duplicates.
Well, I sold all the shit that, like the mainstream shit that people would want, I mean, I don't think you want some of these like fucking Assault Lily figures.
Oh no, I'm not asking to buy anything.
You don't want that shit. Nobody wants that shit, dude. Nobody buys model kits.
Hey, you got me into buying some car model kits. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet, but for $15.
Wait, which one did you get? Oh, you got the
they're upstairs. My kid is like chomping at the bit. He's like, Dad, when are we gonna build those model cars? And I'm like, no, that's not. That's gotta be painted and glued.
No, actually, you could build it in stages, man. At least dry fit it, right? I'll tell you this, Mike. Sanding the body and prepping it for like actual paint work feels like you would do it like in real life, because you have to sand, primer, then wet sand, then fill, then sand again. I'd rather her like find my science folder than like all the toys, because I felt guilty that she went into like my daughter's bedroom and was expecting to see like, her clothes like hung up and whatever, but she sees my toys instead. And I was like, oh, dude, that's why I hate the pop in, dude. Dude, my mom popped in today, and then my dad and my sister popped in today.
Unannounced?
I mean, I understand why they popped in, they're concerned and shit, but still, like, don't come here. I don't want people here.
Dang. Yeah, well, hopefully everything works out for whatever the reason they're there.
I'll come over. Yo, that would be dope. And I guarantee you, I'd fill that space up with toys in like a month.
Build you an extension. Nice.
Oh yeah, man, dude, model kits. And I keep on buying them. I gotta stop buying model kits.
Yeah, I want to do some of the. We were talking about earlier the car model kits. I got that 350 Fairlady. I want to. It comes with a wide body kit, but I really want to do one of the third-party ones from
Black Box STL.
Black Box, yeah.
Yeah.
Some louvers. I'll make, even if they don't have louvers for the 350, I'll make it work.
Yeah, you can make it work, dude. He sells like rims and stuff. You should do it, man. It is really fun, and the fitment on that is perfect, dude. It is perfect. I'm curious how he modeled that stuff. He must have had like a render of like a Porsche already to like fit those things. I mean, it fits perfectly.
Maybe he 3D scans it in.
I was going to talk to you about that later. I got an idea. I need you to help me with something.
Yeah, as long as it's not organic, scans are good. Actually, I got the scanner right here.
Yeah, let's see that. Wait, so you couldn't scan a figure? It wouldn't work?
No, you can scan a figure.
Can you scan a damn Toys buck for me and send me the file?
Do I have one?
Probably not. I'll send you one.
Is that the wait? Is that the? That's not the VC toy.
No, it's the buck that I have Rude Boy 2.0 on.
I thought
or
that.
3.0.
Oh, 2.0. Yeah, this is it. Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I can attempt to, but organic just not. There's a fine line. I guess organic's pretty good. It's flat surfaces that it's really bad at. So I can attempt it. But yeah, it'd be cool to do some model kits. I want to do some wide body stuff. You've been trying to build little smaller diodes, right? Different scale. It'd be cool to build some, like you were saying, around a really cool model kit.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like a little, they're called in that community, they're called vignettes, right? So the tank modeling community does that. They'll build the tank, and then they'll build like a little diorama scene to showcase the tank, right? So I'm going to do that with the Porsche. Obviously, it's going to be a little cyberpunk thing. It's just the one thing that's holding me up is miniature painting. I suck, dude. I suck at painting so bad. Like I'm decent when it's like 1/12 scale, but like at that smaller scale, I realize just how bad I am.
Ooh, crashed on me? Yeah, send it. I'll scan it. Yeah, so I don't want to do like, super clean vehicle. I want to do one that's wide body, that's like
Beat up.
Yeah, I say rat rod, but I want to do like, more present day or like cyber,
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I think that'd be really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that you can like just put some greeble on it. That's what I was planning to do with this Porsche, but I
want like classic car, but resto mod, like wide body type stuff, dude. That to me is just like awesome.
Yeah, you can make wide bodies out of like styrene and stuff. There's a few accounts out there that do that, but that's a lot of work. I mean, the fastest turnaround would be getting a 3D print. So yeah, oh yeah, Star Marvel, I know you do, because you be adding those highlights and they can see some wet blending and stuff. It is tough, man. It is just tough just loading up the brush properly. I can't.
That's where I used to go to sleep on, man, is those tutorials, because I feel like I would remember them, but they will put you to sleep. That's
no, I sleep through that shit all the time. yeah, dude. 110 scale RC cars. Those what do they call it? Polycarbonate shells. Yeah. They're fun. And I think I mentioned this on Diorama Talk. Like I was into that for a while. If you guys want to go see, there's actually some YouTube videos of not only my builds, but me drifting. What's his name? Is it Midwest Slideways with a Z on YouTube? Or I don't know. I'll find a video. I'll put it up on my IG. But yeah, man, that's a rabbit hole, and it's expensive as hell, dude. But it's fun. Like Salient got into that. He's been building like 112 or 110 scale drift cars. And
wait, I've seen those videos. How did I see them?
Oh, I've sent you the videos of me drifting in my.
Oh, they weren't on YouTube?
They are on YouTube. Not on my YouTube. Somebody else's YouTube.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was like, I don't see anything.
Yeah, dude. And it's expensive. I remember I would do like wire tucking and all kinds of stuff with that.
What's up, Dante? You be talking. Yeah, so I think that'd be cool. Like these model kits, I want to do some stuff like that too. And I'm hoping to find some like classic cars, like C3 Corvettes, older, maybe even 80s style like muscle cars, and do some crazy like wide body resto mod stuff as model cars. But again, there's a lot of work there, and I just got to find the space and the time to do that.
Yeah,
but have the capability to print anything at this point.
Yeah, I gotta send you these pictures, dude. My shop has everything you would want, dude. It's a whole aisle of classic muscle cars, trucks. Here, I just sent it to you, Mike.
On what?
I texted it to you.
Me?
They have an NSX that I was thinking about getting too. Whoa. I've always wanted an NSX. I'll never be able to afford one.
Dude, my dad's friends got, like, you talking about the early 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's friends got one, man. They are so nice.
They're so dope. That mid rear.
And he takes care of it too. He's always got in the shop, getting it clean, getting it worked on.
Dude, so when I worked for Acura, they would come in all the time, and I would joyride in them, whatever. There was this dude, his name was Adam. I call him Adam Roll Hard because every time he rolled up into the shop, he'd roll hard as hell. Arm out the window, just leaning back in an NSX. And I'm like, damn, I'd do that too if I had an NSX. Peace, Machu. I'm going to send you that link.
Wait, what are you playing on the Xbox?
Apex Legends or some shit.
Oh, I looked at PS5 the other day hard, and I was like, because the new Hogwarts game, Hogwarts Legacy, came out.
Yo, get it, dude. I just got a PS5. Get it, bro.
I was like, do I need to do? Because I know what's going to happen. It's going to become a time suck. I get bad on just Switch games. Like, it really is.
So I got the PS5 for Christmas, right, for Mason, and I downloaded Cyberpunk for PS5. I had it on PC, right, and I got it just for like reference material. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it like from the comfort of my couch on the big screen, right? But then I got sucked into the game and I was playing it. And then I realized, oh shit, 5 hours had passed and I haven't done anything with my life. Seriously, video games, zero productivity.
Dude, I got lost in Let's Go Pikachu. I will get lost in these other games too. Like, I mean, lost time. Like I got into them.
Dude, nothing productive from playing video games unless you're a Twitch streamer and making money.
I've heard it hurts really good. Yeah.
Do I have to check this out?
I've heard it's really good. And that's almost why I bought it. Huh?
What's the premise? What's the game about?
I don't know, but it's an open world. If you liked Harry Potter, there's a lot of there's a lot of things you can geek out. Just the quality of the game is really good. I don't know anything about the game. I just saw it look really good.
Do it, man.
I'm kind of this dude. That's the way my Amazon. Speaking of technology, Amazon and their session persistence and there's cart, dude. I will have shit in my cart for so long. They keep up with that shit, dude. That's nice.
Yeah, they do.
Dude, the Spider-Man game for PlayStation are just awesome, dude. They do a really good job with those games.
Oh, dude, just swinging around and stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find this video. I gotta send it. I'm trying to get Machu's reaction on. Oh, here I found it. I'm gonna try to get his reaction on in the chat.
What is it?
It's my build of my 110.
Send me a link so I can just put it up here.
Oh, okay.
Put it in the private chat or something. Oh, it's on your phone. Never mind.
No. I'll put it on private chat. How do I exit full screen? I changed some settings when I dropped that figure. Oh, I got it. Yeah, dude. I mean that whole thing is a rabbit hole. It's fun though, man. Building those cars. And you got to figure out like the electronics and all that shit, man. And it's expensive, dude.
Oh, were they were electric or alcohol? Because those alcohol ones are crazy.
No. You need electric for sure. You can't do like a controlled drift with gas, the nitro powered cars, and brushless too.
We were just talking about this guy a minute ago.
Whoops, sorry.
Still out here.
I'll put in private.
A great figure. There it is. All right, hold on.
Oh, you want to pull it up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why don't you just... Yeah, let's pull it up.
Yeah, just pull it up, man. And it's not even my favorite build.
Wait, is this your build?
Yeah, this is my car. Start from the beginning, dog.
Wait, did I already watch this? Why did it jump there? I must have already watched this.
Oh, dude. The LEDs too. I forgot about that shit, man. Oh yeah. Legend. That's a Chicago plate.
Did you do this car your entire yourself?
Yeah, I built this shit. I built this shit too. Look at the wires, dude. So clean, man.
I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Bent the antenna tube at a 90 so you can hide it. Those posts over there so you don't have to drill it to the body. Look at those clips. This shit is fun, man. It is really fun. And there was a local track that I would go every Saturday and drift. And this account has a lot of those videos of us drifting and shit, man. Oh, dude, I built this one 4-door sedan. I had 3 of these chassis. This chassis that cost $1,000 itself.
Jeez.
And that was on the low end. That Sanwa.
How quick will they go?
Oh, I don't know, man. It wasn't really more about like speed. It was more about like controlled angle and holding an angle.
Ah, okay.
You know, just fucking drifting at like a 45.
That's why there's no tread on those tires.
Yeah, exactly. And those tires were like a polycarbonate, like hard plastic, you know?
That's a great question. Why is it so hard to find this?
That's not my video. I didn't make that video. My buddy Chris back in the day made that video. That was before I got into oh, damn. I think that's our cue to go, man.
Yeah, actually we're on 3 hours.
Yeah, damn, 3 hours, dude. Shit.
Yeah. Well, it is pretty late.
Yeah, on that note.
Time to go.
See, dude, when we start talking about cars, that's it.
Did we started talking about cars like 2 hours ago, I think.
Yeah, dude. So, I don't even know what the topic was. Resin something?
Creation.
Cheat codes.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, start?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll catch the replay.
Yeah. Part of the replay crew. Hey, Toy Amigos.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to my other employer. Churros, baby. We were talking about churros.
Was hoping to get some churros tonight, but they don't have microwavable churros. Wow, I can't even say that. Churros in a bag, frozen churros. They don't do that.
No, you got to put churros in the air fryer, bro.
Oh shit, air fryer churros.
Air fried churros, baby.
On that note, you got something else?
Well, I was gonna say, we got to figure out SDCC stuff soon.
Yeah, Kev was hitting me up. Looks like prices are already getting extreme. We're getting pushed out of the radius of where we want to be.
Let's lock that up tomorrow. We'll lock it up tomorrow.
Kev, you want to get together?
Yeah, if you got time. If you guys got time, let's do that shit. So.
Yeah, I'm off Monday, man. This is a long weekend for me, so I'm just hanging out.
Nice.
But yeah, let's lock that up because we only got a few months, right?
I think we need to do it soon, man, because like shit's locking up and whatever. So we probably figure it out this week.
Microwavable churros.
Oh man, dude, Machi's been on a fucking roll lately.
He's on my list now. Thank you.
Churros.
He's right next to Heroes World.
Oh my god, dude. Wow. I wish I thought of that.
You can't call us at the toy show? I see how it is.
I think Kevin will be fine with whatever we decide.
Well,
let's do
we don't
Monday.
know how many people. I'm off Monday. It's fine.
Well, we'll talk about it. This is not an enablers episode. We don't need we'll save the shit for enablers.
Oh, righto. All right. Well, I guess with that said, we're out, guys. Appreciate Churro as well. Do we want us to churro around? Churro around? Churro around? We're out. You have a wonderful way. I don't know. I'll stop. Merry Christmas. Anyway, I'm High School Creations, and if you're not already following me, go find me on Instagram where you can find out more about my upcoming Kickstarter, Wall XD. A lot of cool stuff coming out there. Planning to launched that mid-March, March 14th. For more information, I did link the email sign-up link. That email, if you guys sign up, I promise I'm not going to spam you or anything. You get a couple emails, just like an intro, and then some high-level updates, and then you'll get an update once it's live. But that helps me understand who's really interested, so I know going in, we're tracking as far as the numbers go, because Kickstarter and crowdfunding is another algorithm you got to master. You guys think Instagram's rough or Facebook's rough. Kickstarter is a whole another thing. So anyway, any support there, guys, is much appreciated. And yeah, that's it for me. Mario?
Mike, get your finger ready on that trigger. Take us out. But yeah, let's get this thing funded. Sign up for that mailing service. And as always, you can find me on 796 Studios on Instagram, TikTok, Vero, not Twitch, YouTube. You can catch me on the first Tuesday of every week on Chat Migos Assemble. You can catch me and Mike on the first Thursday of every month on ToyingAround's channel, Unboxing Thursday. Peace.